Playbox here. Welcome to the MUT Podcast 199. Okay, 199, right before a big 200. And today, we got a special one. It's a community podcast again. There was a lot of demand after the last time we did it because it was very engaging. So we're doing it over Discord. Basically, we're going to start with one community member, D-Lions, and then start dragging in more and more crazy opinions. D-Lions, are you excited for today?
Oh man, I mean, I've had to stop playing MUT the last couple weeks because of quadfather and now Dickerson, and I've dabbled in a bit of CFM and probably have had the most fun in Madden ever. So
really, dude, it's been like the best time in MUT all year. I'm not even joking. It's literally like we're in peak MUT right now. Okay, so like. CFM's cool and everything, don't get me wrong. And everybody on YouTube, let me do a little introduction before we get more into MUT, before we bring in other psychos here. I'm going to be running a lot, like 5.3 million in training, because today is the last day of TVPs until they go away, and who knows when they're coming back. So that's what we're doing in the background today. And then we're going to talk about that. We're going to bring in more members. And there's something else I wanted to talk about before we went. Oh, yeah. Apple Music or iTunes, whatever you call yourself now, Spotify, please give us 5-star. Really helps out the podcast. Really helps new people discover us. Rock Bottom, we're not gonna do Rock Bottom. This ain't sponsored by Rock Bottom. Rock Bottom's sponsor of the main YouTube channel. And anyways, D-Lions, you messed up, dude. You messed up. Like, Madden and MUT was bad for a while, but I feel like, dude, I thought since they nerfed Quadfather, he's still overpowered as hell, okay? But what's crazy about it is, like, I don't see that many people actually running with him. It's weird, dude. But he's actually brought balance to, like, the dollar. Because, like, the thing with dollar meta in the past is that they would always be able to get somebody home in, like, the backfield. But now if you just auto-break that, you're the next level, right? And so, like, you can kind of gash him for a little bit more. It's maybe people play a little bit more straight up. Now they got to pinch their D-line. You just run 0-1 trap on them and then gash him for 10 yards of carry there. So, like, it's weird that, like, he's overpowered, but because of the awful run defenses, and I've come to the conclusion, because I'm running with him and I don't see a lot of other people running with him, he's totally balanced. Okay, so I don't know. What do you think? Because, like, people do, like, what's great about him is that he also makes people play worse pass defenses too. So it gets a little bit more fun to pass. And I'm mainly a passer, but it's the threat of the run. That's crazy. Yeah. And so, I don't know. D-Lions, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, so I stopped playing because Quadfather ran for like 250 and 3 touchdowns on me in the last game. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. So that's when I transitioned over to CFM.
That's not a bad point. I mean, I wonder how many people, like, get just absolutely abused by MUT's mechanics. So I saw a post on the subreddit yesterday about, like, the new player experience. They just got the game after a couple years off, and, like, they have like a 92, 93 overall, and they're thrown into there against, like, the greatest fucking teams out there, right? Like, full-on God Squad. So it's weird that EA doesn't protect their new player bases in MUT like other games do. Like, they have, like, specific queue-ups, right? Like, if you go play Fortnite, you'll go against bots for a few games so that way you can, like, warm up, play the game, learn how it is, instead of, like, if they dropped you into a random match, you get popped on every, like within a couple seconds of every first drop. So it's interesting that is that the Brady? Wait, what the hell? It's interesting that MUT just doesn't care. Just literally doesn't care at all about their new player base, and they throw them to the wolves.
Yeah, and you know, me personally, it's starting to feel, well, it felt like how Madden 20 did when we got Dickerson, you know?
Yeah, and it is pretty bad, especially if you're going somebody with a good run scheme. And 23, luckily, has slightly better run stopping mechanics. And they've started to give us a lot more secure tacklers for cheap, right? Hargrave, the D tackle, gets it for 0. So, like, it's different now because in 20 you can only have 3 superstars. Now if you want, your entire defense can basically play 2-hand tag with secure tackler to take them down. So there is counters this year also against the run. So we also got some pretty good gap shoots. I don't know. It is like 20, but EA realized they could monetize how powerful these cards were and start selling us secure tacklers. So there's actual, like, counters now. versus 20.
Yeah, true. You're right.
Yeah. So let's bring in more people. Let's expand the conversation. Because I also want to talk a little bit about like MUT right now. Like we currently have like a freaking loophole in game, and I want to talk about that because like that's always the most fun portion of the game. Let's bring in Big G Preem. What's going on? Big G Preem. You guys better be ready when I bring you on. Snap at any moment.
Hey, how you doing, Fox?
Good. Yourself. What are your thoughts on the overpowered running game of Henry and Mr. Dylan?
Actually, I kind of liked it, to be honest with you. I'm a toter. I hated being cheesed by dollar defenses all the time. I could never run. I suck at passing. The way I looked at it was, instead of EA actually going into the game and balancing offense and defense, I felt like this was their way of counterbalancing how powerful dollar was by giving us something overpowered in the running game.
Shit, like ban him. He's a toter. Yeah, everybody's hating on you for being a runner. I'm getting multiple people saying get him out of here. But like, to be fair, running is easier. And like, and so like a lot more people that are maybe like, because Madden is like, you know, as much as EA wants to be a comp game, it's a casual game, and so it needs to like, you know, have a little bit of that easiness. And I don't like it. I like you know, Madden being a hard game, so it's harder to win. But like, sure. I don't know. There's an argument to that. Go on.
Well, I mean, I guess casuals make up the majority of the player base. Is that true? So to speak?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Were you gonna make a poll? Yeah.
so I'm sitting here thinking, you know, is it really the best thing for the game? On the other hand, now to me, it's fun. Okay, but
yeah,
I can see where it's not so fun for people who are very good at the game, who take the game very seriously, who want it to be hard and want it to be a thinking man's thing. Whereas, hey, here now is a player that pops up and he just can't be tackled. So I can see that point of view as well.
Yeah. I've definitely. So you just got banned from Twitch chat. I see a Big Fudge just redeemed timeout on you for 10 minutes. But so, just FYI.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, like, I think Embry makes a good point in chat. I wasn't born a toter. I was forged by the tonus by dollar. I do find myself running a lot more now because people come out in dollar and these other things that are like so incredibly hard to pass. So I think it's actually brought balance to the game, and I agree with you. But I don't. I guess it's different than 20. Whereas 20 was a running game from day one, and they just made it even better with Dickerson. This was like a passing game with good pass blitzes, but like good luck getting it out from day one. But now they brought in something to balance out the force. So I feel like it's different in that sense because 23 was not a run game from the start.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not a toter by choice. It's the only thing that I can actually do. I'm really terrible at passing.
Yeah. Somebody played a game with triple option with lit up Lamar, Henry, and Dylan. It was literally unstoppable. Yeah, there's some really good runs in this game that are you don't see the community run it. Like it is gonna get worse as the community finds out the overpowered runs, and you'll start to see more people run that. I wonder if anybody in the MCS tournament's gonna run anything. KKL, I see you jumped in. Any thoughts? Okay, KKL just stayed muted. He's just here for a good time. Let's bring in Taz. Taz, you're in. Thoughts on the balance between the run and the pass?
Oh, hello.
What up?
I think the run is really strong right now, but I mean, I personally haven't been getting destroyed by the run, but I think that I think the run is stronger than the pass, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I think personally,
Oh,
In
go
the
ahead,
beginning,
D-line.
I was definitely getting destroyed by it, but I kind of figured out a way to stop it, but I've kind of been able to stop it lately. But
Yeah.
yeah.
D-lines.
Personally, I think that the pass is better than the run because of set feet lead and Hot Route Master Fearless, and the defenders not reacting to the ball getting thrown at their area. And Fox, like you have said before in the past, they're like traffic cones and they shuffle out to their zone. So I feel the pass is a lot more dominant than the run, slightly. But I think with the addition to like AJ Dillon and Derrick Henry, I think it's definitely inched the run a bit closer to the pass, personally.
I thought this game was miserable to play before the quadfather came out because everybody watched the comp tourney and started realizing how powerful dollar blitzes and 3-5 loop is, and then you combine that with man coverage, which there are only a few routes in the entire game that beats man coverage, and sometimes they take a little bit to get open. That it was a harsh time. So apparently Free Beer the Den got replaced with Free Pot. How many of y'all are high right now? How many currently? How many are you? Taz, are you currently in a bathroom smoking?
Oh no, it's probably just because of my mic.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little echoey.
Oh, your game.
420 in the den here today. Yeah, I see the points, and I don't know. I feel like the pass was really, really hard, extremely hard 3 weeks ago or whenever, right before Dylan came out. It was to the point I was shuffling formations trying to find a way of not only getting a balanced running game there, right, but getting a balanced passing game. So I was initially against Dylan, and I probably will still be when I go against somebody with a good advanced running scheme, because trust me, there are some crazy runs in this game right now currently that people aren't using. But I don't know. I'm okay with it. As it currently stands, we'll see how it goes going forward, though. Once we get secure tacklers at every position on defense, we're back to where we were, and then the 2 AP will be useless. So, I'm not sure. Let's bring in somebody else. Let's bring in Sauce. Sauce, you're on the mic. Your thoughts on the game? Okay.
So I'm actually gonna butt in here, quick, Fox.
KKL,
You're saying
what up?
secure tactics at every position.
Yeah.
Has this game changed at all since Madden 17? Is this the same game? Are we just playing the same game over and over again?
Was that 17, or was that 17 had abilities, but 18 was the one where you had to have secure tacklers with two-hand touch. You're right, KKL. To stop the spins of Barry, the jukes were insane. You had to unfakeable also. It was it's a good point. You're right. It's been a cycle, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's when it started going downhill and hasn't been good since.
No, that's a good point.
I know, hot take.
Yeah. I mean,
in the chat. Let's play some MLB, boys.
Let's play some MLB. MLB is worse than Madden. Not unironically, MLB's gameplay is worse than Madden's gameplay, KKL.
MLB offline is much better than Madden offline. I will fight you to death about that, coward. I will come find you in parts unknown.
That's actually a valid point. I don't really play either one of them offline. Anybody else feel that? Anybody else have experience with those two?
Not MLB offline or even MLB in general. I just think the game's in a terrible state right now just because I feel like the attributes really don't matter. You can have a 92 overall speed cornerback keep up with top tier, wide receivers and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Now, when you say keep up, do you mean on streaks or on slants or what kind of routes you talking?
I'm talking about more on the streaks, you know what I mean, where it's just on certain plays, certain wide receivers will get past them and all that good stuff. But then on the turnaround on my side, my receivers can't get no separation. So I don't know. It might just be the kind of user error, or maybe they know something I don't know. But it just seems like it's just so offsided and just so randomized that certain plays work sometimes, and then sometimes they just go to shit.
Yeah, that's considered the Madden quote unquote knowledge gap, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's good, right? Like, I think an ideal Madden would have, you know, if you call a play IRL that beats man coverage. But, like, okay, so that's Sauce. So I just brought in Sauce for those that weren't knowing. So, Sauce, what do you say about, like, you know, Richard Sherman? And he was slow IRL, but he played, like, a press cover 3 because he was physical, so he wasn't beat deep every time. Because that was, like, a thing back in the day where, like, all that mattered was speed. And so, like, if you had a slightly lower DB, he literally just got beat over top every time. I mean, should speed be the end all be all for streaks and cornerback DB play? Sorry, cornerback wide receiver play.
No, for sure. I mean, like somebody like Sherman was like classified as a zone defender. You know, he was never really locked down. So in the game, it should transpire where if you leave him in man coverage, you know what I mean. He does that. He does have a higher possibility of getting beat versus somebody like Deion Sanders or like Champ that were, you know, the real sticky and all that good stuff, where if you run them on a man, definitely be a lot tougher. But then if you throw them in a zone, they weren't really known too much for being zone kind of coverage.
Yeah.
Cornerbacks or whatnot. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And I think in MUT, I agree, because, like, there used to be more differences in ratings. Like okay, Madden 15 era, 16 era, Deion Sanders would have, like, 40 press. It's ridiculously low, like 50, 60, whatever, in there. Like, that would be his press. And that'd be like that to the end of the year until golden tickets and somebody raised it up. But, like, now, like, bad press is, like, 2 press below the top overall press in the game for new. Like, you no longer, it feels like, have that kind of differentiation between corners. So, like, somebody's a man corner in MUT still has 90-something zone coverage because they've made every card basically the same. Like, and so I guess I want to ask maybe somebody else, so that way we can, like, you know, have more of a group discussion here. What do you think about the stats, and, like, you know, is that better for the game that, like, every single card is kind of usable, or should they be more differentiated? Let's bring it back to Big G Preem.
I mean, I kind of look at stats as like almost like they're irrelevant now, because if you think about it, the game is completely based on abilities. And I don't know if that's such a good thing to me anyway, because do the stats really matter? You know, it's really based on their abilities, whether they're usable or not. You know, if you got a safety and he doesn't have deep out zone or whatever, the majority of the people are not going to use him. It really doesn't matter if he's 96 speed or 97 speed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Taz?
So I feel like stats are kind of negated now to a point.
Yeah, I feel like the attributes should matter, because if you have a zone corner, I don't think a zone corner would be like as fast, but I feel like they should have like the higher play rec and awareness than a man-to-man corner. But I feel like it doesn't really matter in this.
I agree. Let's bring in Dollar Gets Paid. Dollar Gets Paid. What are your thoughts on stats versus attributes right now? Stats versus abilities. Dollar? Bueller?
Yo.
All right, what up, Dollar? How you doing?
Oh, yeah, what's up, Fox? I didn't think I would get picked, but yeah, here I am.
You're on the big stage. Don't blow it. Don't give no acceptance award. Tell me, attributes. How much do they matter versus making every card usable versus just abilities?
For me, I don't really care about attributes, only speed, and then the next thing I look at is the abilities. So, like for receivers, I go for short ends and route ticks and discounted ones. But for me, attributes are just like EA's way of just putting something on the card, but it doesn't really matter to me. I think abilities are more important.
Yeah, obviously, but what do you think about that? Like, should it be that way, or should they change, or how would they change? Chat's roasting.
I kind of like it because sometimes abilities are like on a slower receiver, like a Fitzgerald, for example. He gets a Slotto for 2, so he was a little bit slower, but he would still get open against man coverage. So I kind of like it.
But the thing is,
that the attributes don't really matter.
The thing with Fitzgerald, though, is like they didn't give him bad attributes this year. They gave him good speed, so like they said, just screw it. It doesn't matter. Like that's what abilities were supposed to be. Like you're living in like what they should have been done. But like, what do you think about what they are doing? Which is now he's coming out as one of the fastest cards of the game when he gets a new card. When he was really like that.
Oh yeah, but it makes more cards usable because I'm tired of using Tyreek Hill, Calvin Johnson, and everyone. I like running NFL theme teams too, so I hate the Legends theme team. I'm like a real NFL guy, you know. I like to use players that I actually like, not just the fastest and tallest.
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What does everybody else think about that? Let's go with that Sauce. We're back to Sauce.
No, then one thing that pisses me off about the abilities is that the fact that you pay and you spend training on an ability to find out that it's a dud. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works, or how iffy they are and inconsistent they are is one thing that kind of pisses me off about the game and the attributes, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Taz, any thoughts?
About abilities?
Yeah, just like how it should be rated versus attributes.
Nah, I think. Well, on my take earlier, I mean, I don't know. I feel like just now that abilities just blow attributes out the water. I mean, it doesn't. I just feel like abilities are just way more overpowered this year than attributes are.
How should they change it?
I feel like they should change it on the attributes. They should go to like the player's playstyle. I think that's just how it should be, in my opinion. It should just like be exactly how it is on the NFL playstyle on that player.
So like only allow them to get the same abilities they get in regs?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know what abilities they get in regs. I don't really play regs, but
yeah, there's some pretty bad abilities in regs. I mean, I feel like that would make the game even more stagnant than it is. It's like going back to the Madden 18 era, where like if your card didn't get the certain chem style, if your card didn't get a certain ability, it was basically useless.
True, I'd agree. If I may tap in here.
Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Personally, I think that, I mean, I know I'm going to get a lot of backfire for this, but I think ability should go.
What?
And they should, here, let me explain. And so, like, the passing velocity abilities, I think that they should tune them to the quarterbacks to throw as fast as they do IRL, but that's in a perfect world. And they should, almost like the player traits they have already, but they should kind of making it balanced and each player individually unique, like Tyreek Hill being as fast as he is can burn, like, let's say, a Richard Sherman. And whereas if you have like a Michael Thomas out there, you can't burn a Deion Sanders. That's what I would think personally. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks. I'm probably getting a lot of backlash for this, but
what did this guy just say?
What was that? I didn't hear the interrupter.
Oh, he said, "What did this guy just say?" And then I know he just cut off.
Oh, JC did. I just brought in JC talking about. I was gonna ask him another question here in a second. He thinks it'd be more tuned towards the player and how they play IRL. I mean, it's a fine point. The issue is like Madden has a meta, and every year it's either a man or a zone. And so if you bring out cards and like they can only play like they played IRL, a lot of them are useless for the quote unquote meta that year. JC, what do you feel about that? I'm muted, so it wasn't me. Oh, then who the... Okay, well, just answer the question, JC.
I'm sorry, what was the question? I missed it because I was switching over to Discord.
Oh, okay. So you know how there's a Madden meta every year, and then certain abilities are meta? If we make the players play like they are, like... there will be like a lot of cards that come out are useless and people complain about that. So how does EA solve that?
I've always said that you want to have customizable kind of cards in a way. That if you you know, in MLB The Show, they have the parallel system, but I always thought that if Madden Ultimate Team could be more like an RPG and you could change archetypes depending on what you wanted to do, if you take away from one stat, give to another, then you'd enable us to use any of our own players, but still keep, say, one key ability or one key thing that is unique. Now, I think the one thing they've gotten right this year is that certain players were given discounts for abilities that made sense. Gutbox, you always made the point that Troy Polamalu should have free acrobat because that's just the way he played. They've gotten slightly closer to that by giving correct discounts, but they haven't gone far enough. I think if you add in discount abilities and then give us the ability to customize our player either by archetype or by ratings, by swapping out certain ratings for others, if we wanted to boost zone over man, for instance, not physical stats, I think that would be a way for them to try to thread that needle, but it would take a lot of work and a lot of coding work.
Damn, fine, well said. I got nothing to add. Dollar, you got anything on top of that? Because I'm speechless. I love it. Everybody in the chat loves JC's radio voice right there. Nice work. Can I get some claps? This guy's MUT Joe Rogan. He's an analyst.
No, damn good points. No, that's spot on.
Oh yes.
Oh, what happened? I was reading chat. I didn't really hear what he said.
God damn it, Dollar. Oh, this is fucking scuffed as shit. All right, let's bring somebody else. Any thought on that as I bring somebody else in? Somebody speak up.
No, I think JC got a spot on.
Said, yeah, exactly.
I see tones. I see tones. So JC brought up a good point. Disagree or agree on making cards more customizable as far as abilities and attributes.
I think the big issue with abilities right now is that it's like the meta. I can't hear anything.
We can hear you speak.
Okay, sweet. So the big issue with abilities is that man's like, so at the beginning of the year, man cover was already so overpowered, and they brought in abilities to make it even better, like fucking mid out KO, short route KO, whatever, inside shade, and then you have players who would just never be able to beat that at any point in time. So like whenever they brought that commodity that got 3 AP, mid out KO, and inside shade, like nobody was ever gonna get open against that card, no matter what they did. So I think they need to pull back abilities like it was in 20, where only like a few players got them, and make abilities actually matter. Because now whenever they drop, new cards, the only thing you give a shit about is the abilities. No matter how fucking fast somebody is, what kind of attacking they have, the route running, none of that matters. If you don't have short in, you're not going to get open. If you don't have deep out, you're not going to get open. So basically, they kind of created an unfixable machine right now, at least for this year. But going forward, I think if they pull back on abilities a little bit and just make more, what can we call it? Like the ability for guys to randomly beat people in coverage like they would in real life, I think it would be better going forward throughout the year rather than just being the same thing.
Yeah,
from to May.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you. I don't think EA pulls back from ability. If anything, they just go deeper into it, right? Because they realize if they give something overpowered, they can make an ability and counter it and sell us cards with it cheaper too. Like, I think we've kind of crossed the threshold. Does anybody think EA's actually thinking about cutting back on abilities a little bit and going a different, like going a lesser? But I think they're deep into it and they actually really enjoy it. Does anybody disagree with that take?
No.
No, they're definitely going to come out with more abilities.
Well, I didn't mean that they're going to do that. I just meant, like, do you think it'd be more fun if they had fewer?
Abilities sell. Period. Abilities sell a card.
Yeah, but is that better for the game?
I feel like every single player
EA
didn't have an ability.
I don't see EA peeling back from abilities because you'll buy a card to people that spend money because they have a OP ability. Quadfather, case in point.
Well, look,
people
more to that point, okay, what we dislike is not so much abilities or the concept of abilities, it's the inability of EA to balance them. That's the issue. You know what I mean?
Okay, I agree with that.
I don't mind that there's overpowered abilities. Like, for instance, Quadfather and King Henry. Fine, you know what? I have 3 secure tacklers on my team. All right, and they released deep ones around the same time that they released those cards. So honestly, for those, I don't really have a problem with it. I do have a problem with man coverage abilities that turn off all my receivers' abilities that I can get for any kind of discount, and then create a situation where sometimes a man beating route will win, but sometimes it won't. At that point, if I'm getting blitzed, it's literally a coin flip on whether or not I'm going to complete the ball or it's going to get picked. And I don't like the complete coin flips whenever I want to play this game at a decently high level.
You know,
right.
Oh, go ahead, Big G Preem.
Well, I mean, do you think that abilities are consistent or inconsistent in the game? I mean, do you think they're too consistent in the fact that if you have a deep out knockout, that every single time it's going to get knocked out of your receiver's hand? I mean, do you think that it's consistently too much? Do you think that it should be a little more balanced as far as whether that knockout works or not?
No, it's a good question, but I think that, the knockout's a good point, because I mean, I use 4 deep out zone knockouts, but it really seems to depend on how close my player is to the receiver on whether or not I'm going to get the knockout animation. Sometimes I'm too far away, or if they go up and they get that weird leaping animation where they just kind of like it sticks to them and they come down with it. There's still some randomness, and there's some randomness in football. I get that, but
right.
I think what I want is an understanding that if my player is within 1 step of the receiver at the catch point, I'm getting a knockout. I'd like to know that. But if he's 2 steps away, it's more of a coin flip or random, or it won't happen. I'm fine with that. I do want to have more understanding on how these abilities are coded, which is where I know MUT leaks in prior years has come into play. But I like to know more about what's happening so that I know what to use, what's going to work, and what's not.
Yeah, Embry. Oh, go on, Big G.
Do you think that EA is purposely vague on that for a reason?
I got to be honest. I think for some of this stuff, I don't know if EA knows what the impact will be when they code the ability. I'm serious. I think that for some of them, they don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Meta change every year from the beginning of the year to then something unbeatable toward the end of the year. And they don't really change the gameplay all that much. Just new abilities come out and get cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, like, talking about that is specifically Donald Parham, right? Is like, when he came out, he had deep out elite when nobody else really had any counters to it. Like, we didn't have any cheap pick arts. We didn't have any cheap, like, deep zone knockouts. So, like, we were like, what the heck are we going to do against this guy? He's insane because he's one of the fastest cars in the game at launch. He's only 2 speeds slower than Tyreek Hill. So, like, it was like, okay. And it was like, this is going to be even worse when he gets a golden ticket. I'm like, no, it's as powerful as it ever is going to be right now, because later on in the year we'll have, better cards that can match up with him and everything, and that's kind of what we've seen. So, it is true, is that's how EA sells it, and which why I don't think they're getting away with it, getting away from it. But, like, Embry, what do you think about consistency versus inconsistency versus abilities, and, like, how much do you want? Because, like, I agree, I do want consistency, and I know you're much more into the competitive side of the game, too. And like, let me know your thoughts on everything as far as beating man coverage.
Well, I feel like before the last patch, all you had to do is just have short in, and you can just throw anybody an out round who's going to beat man. Then they go ahead and change the perception of, like, if you shade inside, shade outside, make it great. And all of a sudden that security blanket went away. So I was like, all right, this ability might work, it might not work. And it's the same way with the knockouts. Like, this guy has deep knockout, I have deep out, let's see which gets. And it's just like, it turns the game into a coin flip. Like, you play someone with the same skill as you, and it's going to turn into who gets the better animation at the end of the game. And that's just what it boils down to. If you can't outsmart your opponent, you're going to get into a coin flip of what animation you get compared to them if you're in the same skill base.
Has that been any different in Madden ever, though?
No. But, like you said with the ability,
I wouldn't call it
I think it would be like a nice, fresh thing with no ability game. Just give us the next one, no abilities. Let's just go back to the starts and see how it feels, and then go from there. Let me pay for some emotes. Let me DX chop my guy when I tackle him or something. I would pay money for that. Just give me that.
Dollar, you wanted to say something? Dollar, you interrupted Ember. You want to say something or no?
Yeah, I didn't agree that it was a coin flip because my short in slant CD Lamb always kills man to man. So
yeah,
I think with short in beating the man coverage is good for the game.
Look, inconsistency. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, JC.
I just want to say inconsistency is fine to a point, but I think that the thing that frustrates all of us, if you play this game at a decently high level, what frustrates us all the most is whenever you make an adjustment to what a guy's doing. Like you put a hard flat directly where that they're going to throw that ball because they've done it 3 downs in a row, and they throw it and they just catch it right through your guy. That's what makes my blood boil. It's just like, you should be rewarded for the right adjustments. And even if you drag a guy out there sometimes, the way the guys shuffle to their spot on cloud and hard flats it's been really frustrating this year, at least for me.
Yeah, they be shuffling way too much now. You put a guy in any kind of drop zone, they are shuffling so slow backwards. It's pointless. You might as well just have those guys stay at 0 yards because that's all they can do. Blitz the house, guess the first read, and go from there. That's like the best way you can do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Go D-Lines.
I think zone is almost to a point where it's unusable. Like JC uses it. Embry, you said as well, zones just shuffle. And like you had said before, it's so frustrating when trying to play zone that you're almost forced to play man and forced to play, quite frankly, the meta, the inside shade, outside shade, route knockouts in order to at least attempt to cover anybody with the set feet lead, and how zones don't react to it until the ball gets there.
Yeah. Somebody in chat saying people need to learn how to play match coverage. Match coverage gets bombed by so many different route concepts. Like, dude, play match coverage against Embry here, and he's going to just have a fucking field day, won't you, Embry?
Everyone has a match beater in their playbook.
Yeah, everybody good just destroys the fuck out of match because there's just so many logic errors in it, and it's consistent logic errors. So, like, it's interesting that, like, man coverage isn't beat consistently, but, like, you can consistently fuck up match coverage. So, like, I don't know. I prefer consistency in the game and like what beats what. But like IRL, like that's one of the things we gotta like sacrifice, right? Because IRL, there is no consistency in football. Sometimes you do beat a guy, sometimes you don't. But in the end, it's a video game, right? So like Jedi, I just brought you in, Jedi bro. What are your thoughts on a video game and consistency versus IRL inconsistency?
I've been wanting simulation for like sports games like football, soccer, even like basketball for as long as I can remember, because I feel like when we buy it, we want to replicate what we see on TV via our controllers, right? I believe that's the reason why, for the most part, when it comes to sports games. Over time, my opinions on that have laxed a bit, but I still do think that it should be simulation based and it should be leaned towards more realism than.
Jedi, you there? Did you get snatched?
Hello?
Hey.
Am I here?
Yeah, you are. You just stopped talking. We don't.
Never a good sign when you have to ask that question.
I stopped talking because I was done my thought. That's why I was like, the fuck?
Oh, it left me on I was brain. Like reactions to that, JC, you're saying something?
No, I mean I didn't have a big reaction to that. I mean, look, when people play this game for money, like we're going to see tonight, they want consistency, but we can't cater to them because when you start catering to the absolute sweats of the community, then you end up with a game that's unplayable for the casual player. But I mean, there's a way to kind of, walk the middle path there. And I think that part of the way to do that is to give better explanations on abilities, what counters what, and then that way we understand why they're releasing certain players in certain ways. For instance, when they release these secure tackler discounts, whenever they released Quadfather and King Henry, they didn't explicitly tell us on stream, or RG didn't tweet out that, oh, hey, secure tackler automatically counters freight train. The people in the community figured that out. Why can't EA give us a little bit more so that we don't have to follow 800 people on Twitter and get in the den every single day to figure out what's going on? Now, I like being in the den, so that's fine for me, but not everybody has the time to do that. And I feel like it's forge a better way if they're clear.
I like how you say that, like somebody with a belt isn't holding that over you, ready to beat you, and forcing you to say that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, like, does EA just care about their content creators so much? Because like we'll find out about the game, and then like people will like watch our stuff. Is that EA's like tip of the, like they can do less work, but it allows the community to prosper?
Personally, yeah, I all they care about is bringing in that money and getting those advertisements out like we're going to see tonight, like JC said, in the MCS stream. That's all they care about is bringing in money and revenue.
Yeah.
Personally,
I'm fairly certain they just don't know about so much of these things, right? Like, short out beats press man coverage. They had no clue that happened. Like, somebody in chat said practice mode is only one controller, and then within like 30 minutes of practice mode being out in MUT, we figured out a way of getting 2 controllers working. So I like between like evilness and purposefulness, I think it's just EA just doesn't know, and they like it's layers of coding, and a lot of people have left and got new jobs. So like, we don't know how these things work. Even abilities from a couple years ago. I see Tones, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, like Big Prime said to me earlier when they said that you come back on abilities. The abilities sell a card, and that's where they're at now. Yeah. And EA don't give a shit about anything else other than selling the card. Right now we have 10 people in this little chat, and we can all agree on one thing, and that's the game's fucked. But we don't know.
I love the game. I actually think it's one of the better ones.
The game's playable. The game's fun, but the problem that we have is, and it boils down to resources, Gunfox. I mean, they simply don't have the resources to know what is going to happen when they put something in the game. So they need more coders. They need more testers. But there are good people who work for EA. I mean, RG is a real guy. Like, I've interacted with him. He's been responsive, and he's as honest as he can possibly be about the state of the game at any given time. They've lost some people who were incredible, Kralo, and others. But the bottom line is it's a lack of resources. And my hope is that, at some point, someone at EA is going to go to bat for the people of the community to the point where they will see either dwindling sales or dwindling money, and they'll have to reinvest in the product. Either that or competition whenever, the exclusivity license expires again.
I want to ask this question to everybody. I'm going to go down the list one by one. Is Madden a good game? Yes or no? So we'll start at the top. Big G Preem, is Madden a good game? Yes or no?
Yes.
D Lions, yes or no?
I'd say yes.
Dollar Gets Paid, yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Embry, yes or no?
My favorite.
It's your favorite? Okay. JC, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Jedi, yes or no?
Maybe.
Okay. You can't answer my question. Stop, dude! You stop sitting on the fence. You can't say maybe. No, we're not gonna do these cop outs.
I'll say yes then. I'll say yes.
Okay. Jets, yes or no?
Okay, I was talking about mechanic. What's the question?
Is Madden 23 a good game?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay,
I think it's a good game.
I see Tones. Is Madden 23 a good game?
The team building portion of MUT, absolutely. The actual gameplay, maybe 20% of the time.
Hang on, I gotta take this call. Be right back. You guys talk amongst yourself. Oh wait, I missed the call.
Here's why I say it's a good game.
Go ahead, JC.
You missed the call.
I say it's a good game because I would say about 1 out of every 5 games or so, I play somebody and it is the traditional football chess match. We go back and forth. He makes adjustments to what I'm doing. I make adjustments to what he's doing. And it's an excellent game. And win or lose, that's why I play Madden. I enjoy that for the give and take. Yeah, exactly.
You guys run metal.
That's why it's a good game because it has.
Does anyone here run tight and 3-3-5 or dollar?
No, I think that's where it gets kind of stale. I think I played like over 1,000 games, and you see gun tight and bunch and dollar like so much. It does make the game stale and boring. I get that, but like for me, this Madden's been like the most where I can just go out of my way and create something that I enjoy on offense and defense. I haven't got to do that in a lot of Maddens because like last year, anything worked on offense. You didn't have to be creative. This year, I've made a whole scheme and it's been fun and just go in the playbook and just make stuff up that keeps going, and it's like it was enjoyable. Same thing on defense. You can play really good defense this year unlike last year, and like you can do so much different with adjustments, and I know they're not only going to work, but it's just been great like mind-wise of creating something this year. I haven't created my own scheme in forever, so it's finally nice to be able to do it this year.
No, I agree, Embry. I mean, I've run the Rams book for a while with Bunch X Nasty, but I moved into the Jets to run split close so I could have King Henry and Keith Byers on the field at the same time, and occasionally I'll put in William Perry, and it's just fun moving guys around, and that way I don't have to deal with all these man coverage abilities, and it's fun either when I run or whether I'm running angle routes or whatever I'm doing or a surprise wheel. it's fun to see what'll work. Even if I end up, throwing a dumb pick every once in a while, I'd rather do that than sit in the same book all year.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
agree.
that's what
I
people
used
always
to think
say.
like that, so I kept getting my ass beat.
I get
Full
always
disclaimer,
these messages
I'm
all
a
the
gun
time.
tight and 335 man coverage.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun doing different things and, obviously experimenting. Like for me personally, I think I said this. I said this in the main chat. I came in here. I run Denver's offense. I know Denver's offense in the game is much better than it was in real life. Dear God. But
Be good next year.
yeah, but until next year. But I mean, Denver's offense is a lot of fun to play with. Like, I would highly recommend that if you guys have not tried it and you're looking for something different to use, try Denver. It is
Denver
actually
used to be the meta back in 16 with their pistol bunch.
They don't have that anymore.
It's still OP.
It's very, very similar to the Green Bay Packers offense this year. The only difference is there is a couple of different things in there, which is not that bad, actually.
I just started running the Jets book. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just got into the Jets book this past month, and I absolutely love it. And I think that's what makes the game better is, like you said, instead of sitting $1 and 335 all the time, it gets stale and boring to discover new playbooks and discover new plays and being off meta. I think that's more exciting than just adhering to the norm.
Always
Is
has.
this this guy's voice mixed between Mike Tyson and Joey Diaz? Just a little bit. Anybody?
No, but your name is Jits Monkey, which I think is fantastic. I love that.
Wow.
Thanks, man.
Interesting. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
No one noticed his voice, though. I mean, come on, nobody watches Joey Diaz.
I mean, yeah, I did, but I chose to ignore it because it is what it is. Like,
I'm not making fun of him.
It's a lot deeper than Tyson.
Okay.
It's a solid voice, but let's not call people out for voices here.
We're
making
no.
points.
I'm not making fun of him. I said I like his voice. It's between Mike Tyson and Joey Diaz,
Yeah,
had a baby.
But the way you were saying it came across as you were kind of like being.
I always come off negative. I definitely always come off negative. Not trying to.
Well, have you guys been reading the chat? Have you guys been reading the chat while we've been doing this?
Yeah, I've been seeing some people saying something about dollar's not going to be meta soon. I see some people, commenting on the fact that we're making fun of the dude's voice, which if you did do that,
This just got weird.
There is that. I see a whole bunch of chair emotes. I know the chair emotes are very entertaining because Gutfox has decided to disappear on us, which, by the way, please bring back water. I'm thirsty.
Dude, I didn't even know we were in. I didn't even know we were in the chat right now. I'm just sitting here in Discord. I'm not even looking at the screen.
Yeah,
fuck, man. Screw the water. It's beer o'clock. But Big G, I wanted to say, if you're running into dollar and you're in the Jets book, audible down to I-form close and run either 95 mic or power O, and you will blow those people up. It's fun.
Oh God, I-form. Yeah,
Okay.
I think those formations can be taken out of the game. I-form and stretch. I mean, at least Ragusa runs like a good pistol, like nice run. He has a good still. This stretch
I ran
Ragusa
like sixes. I ran a little bit of Ragusa sixes Ravens book last year. But man, I don't have his stick. Like I can't do what he does. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Ragusa's offense is actually like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Ragusa's trash.
I don't mind toters. I hate playing them, but that is something that if I were to ever learn a run scheme from top to bottom, that would be one I would love to learn.
We back? What happened? People are saying save us. What happened, dude?
The fox is nothing leader.
We kind of got a little bit off topic, making fun of the chat a little bit, and yeah.
Jits Monkey was just lobbing grenades, but it's okay. We're okay.
I was close with the guys. Come on now.
He took a personal shot at him.
We got personal insults. Perfect. Nick actually tweeted at me that he had some axes to grind here. Nick, what's going on? Nick, I guess Nick doesn't have his mic unmuted. I don't know if he's there. Dollar called you fat? What the hell?
No, that is not true.
That's cap.
The
nerve.
That one is not true.
They're talking about loving toting. All right, so like, okay, Mutt right now has like a loophole, and it hasn't been like changed in like 4 days. Why do you think that is? All right, I guess Nick's here. We'll come back to loophole discussion in a second. Nick, what's your axe to grind?
Gut Fox, first time caller. I'm 100% not locked in your basement.
Thank you for clearing that up.
2 axes to grind. One is perfect accuracy. They put the skill-based mechanic into the game, and it's such an awesome concept. Let's let you place passes away from the defender. And then they took all the skill out of it and replaced it with RNG. And so for like the past 2 weeks, I've been dealing with my admittedly outdated quarterback randomly throwing my perfect accuracy passes past the receiver straight to a defender for an interception. Makes no sense whatsoever. And so
that requires me to ask the following questions. Number 1, were you facing a guy with under pressure?
It wouldn't say perfect accuracy if it was under pressure.
It doesn't though. Sometimes it still does.
And even then, like the thing is, I think Civil talked about this on a video a few months ago, if not like about 2 months. The thing is, like, yes, it is perfect. Like the thing is, it says perfect accuracy, and it technically still is. The reason why it doesn't look that way is because you overthrew the receiver, if that makes sense. Like you still.
I've tuned down. Jedi. It shouldn't say perfect accuracy if you overthrew the receiver.
I know, but it does. That's the weird part.
But the thing is, the reason
to Gut Fox's
why
point, I've been tuning down my freeform passing settings like incrementally for like a month now. I'm all the way down to like 5 or 6.
Go to
like near 5 or 6
with Gunslinger. It's big.
But
what I'm saying is Gunslinger shouldn't matter. It's a skill-based passing mechanic, and they took the skill out of it.
I don't think it's gone, Nick, but let me make a couple points here. One is, first of all, one thing that does happen is if you drop back to pass further than like 10 yards from behind the line of scrimmage, whatever it says, your passes are going to be messed up.
Not the case.
The thing is, to me,
from my drop back, I never moved further back.
That's good. That's actually a good habit to get into. But the other thing is, to me, whether or not your pass is going to be right on target also depends on whether or not your receivers get bumped. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with this, but my receivers are getting bumped down the field all the time, no pass interference. And that creates a lot of those perfect passes, quote unquote, that still don't connect.
Because it was perfect where they were when they threw it, but not where they're at. I get it.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say too. Like, it says perfect accuracy because you're putting the ball in that spot, like where you want to put it, and it's actually going there. But the unfortunate thing is you're just either overthrowing the receiver or other things happen that make it look like it's not.
They should bring back the skill-based mechanic and make it catchable for the receiver.
Yeah.
Or at least allow the receiver to dive for the ball, because that shit pisses me off where the receiver goes to reach out for the ball and just either goes right through his hands or right past
Gator
his hands.
arms?
I think,
I've got Gator arms too.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
All
Hey,
right, I got a
fellas,
solution. I got a solution. I'm back. The guards are back in their place. Ability acrobat, but for the wide receiver. Solved. EA can sell us.
I like that. I like that. Hey,
Give
Gut
me
Fox,
a hot
I
hand,
gotta
I'm
run.
gonna hold wide the whole time.
Okay, you gotta run.
I gotta go.
Take it
So
easy,
feel
JC.
free to end the community pod now, since nobody else is gonna say anything better than what I've said. So have a good one.
You ruined it, dude. You ruined it with your lack of humbleness. Only I can have the big head here, right? You can't be such an asshole. But yeah, I appreciate it, JC.
There is one thing. I mean, we were talking about abilities earlier. When you're talking about, the 1 AP or whatever, like make the, I know height already matters in the game, like, and stuff like that, but just like, instead of like, if you got short slot receivers, like make them actually, when they run that crossing route, make it so they can catch better than, certain other receivers, you know what I mean? And I think that would be a good addition to the game instead of just having strictly tall, to catch. And even that still doesn't work, like with a 5'9" corner. I've seen 5'9" corners dominate tall people. So I mean, I don't see why they can't add that to the game as well. So
Gotcha.
That's a good point. Some of the best corners in the NFL are short, and then in MUT they're the worst.
DJ Reed.
If I may add, earlier in the year, how we had first gotten Carmichael, and I was running the spread ebook at the time, and that I forgot what formation it is, but there was a post over the middle, and I literally high pointed Carmichael, and he jumped over Dwight Polamalu, and Polamalu literally did nothing. He just stood there, looking fucking stupid.
Well, that's just because high points in general overpower, not necessarily 6'8", because that happens not even just with like a smaller DB getting jumped over, but there will be times where, you know, I've seen it in like streams from like Gutflox, for example, like there'll be guys that are like 6'1", like Nolan Cromwell. My God, I cannot speak. From like maybe 3 or some odd months ago, that card was getting jumped over from guys that were like maybe 2 inches taller than him just because of the high point mechanic.
Yeah, it's not just
you're right. I think they like Fox said earlier this year, they change high and low points every year, where one will be more dominant than the other. Where like last year, low points were almost meta
and a curl right now. You can't. It
The
guy.
I'm gonna
it will get underthrown.
I'm just going to interject and say I have never, because I've been in the community for a couple of years now, I have not seen a game until this year where high points were as OP as they are right now. I would argue, like,
high points been OP for a while.
Like I would argue like high points this year were more overpowered than low points last year, but that's probably just me.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna ask everybody one more thing, and then we're gonna bring a new chat. We got a ton of people in the waiting room right now. So we're gonna run it back. I'm gonna go down the list. Everybody give me final thought, 1 point, anything that you want to say about MUT or Madden, promo code tomorrow, whatever you want to speak off the top of your head, and then we're gonna bring in the new crew. Okay, Big G Preem, any last thoughts?
Yeah, it just amazes me that you have a $1 billion company who has all that money and they pay so little attention to quality control. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this many F-ups in a game like we've had this year. Like, how do you have billions of dollars and you have 2 people probably sitting there and all this stuff gets past them? I don't understand that. I think the game would be so much better if they devoted resources to quality control.
Yeah, absolutely true. Like, the thing is, the community is the quality control, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad for us. Take it easy, Big G. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Fox.
Yep. D-Lions, you're up. What? Any last thoughts? Any thoughts? Any point?
Yeah. I think that it kind of pisses me off how disconnected EA is from their own game, and how quite a few pods ago, how MMG said when he went to the Madden Mobile headquarters or EA headquarters or whatever, when he did, and he told them what was going on, like the bots and whatnot, they were confused and they didn't know what he was talking about. And it pisses me off that there is just so much disconnect between us and their actual game. They don't care.
Do you think
that's my last thought.
Because they just don't play it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a 9 to 5 for a lot of them, and they just don't really, know that they do what their boss says, and they don't really go out and seek new information.
Yeah, exactly. I'm losing faith quickly.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, it does feel like some of them do listen to us in the community. Sometimes they listen to the wrong people in the community, I feel like, with some of the feedback. But anyways, appreciate it, D-Lions. Talk to you again.
Love you, Fox.
Love you too, bud. Dollar gets paid. Final thoughts for you.
All right, man. I just want to say thanks for having me, and I'm gonna go roll up the devil's lettuce and chug a Cooler's Light beer, and I'll be in the chat chilling. As far as the game, EA sucks. They make this shit expensive, and I'm gonna go throw some high point passes. All it gets paid is out.
Hell yeah! See you later, bud. Embry, what are you thinking? So we're gonna do a new batch. The pod's not ending. We're gonna do a new batch in a second. Sorry, Embry. Final thoughts for you.
All right.
Final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Generation X proudly brings to you the champions of the world, the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys ready for the Super Bowl? Yeah.
He's a huge
I
Chiefs
just
fan.
like this. Yeah, I am stoked we're back in the Super Bowl. Scared that it's in a stadium where everyone gets hurt, so pray for Mahomes' ankle. But the game state-wise, I love this game. It gets shit on so much by so many, but it is so easy to play, and I can adjust to whatever anybody's doing. I'm not gonna get killed by one thing. I can combat the one thing that they're doing. No one could just run a brainless scheme against you anymore, and I think that's great. I'm glad, and I think some people just need like how MLB has events. They need like something like that for the casual guy, something where they're fun to grind. Like house rules just isn't it. Give a guy an event. He wins like 8 games in a row. You get like a 93 card, and then you can rinse and repeat it. And then it would make the people that are like free to play more happy. It just needs something like that. And then a game mode for like us where we need like a competitive mode. Like just make the compass. Give us rewards for the compass. Just make that fun. And then head to head is just. It is what it is. You're gonna see a lot of dollar. You're gonna see a lot of bunch. You're gonna see all that stuff. But I don't know. I enjoy it. It's fun. See you got.
Yeah, take it easy, Embry. Yeah, great points. Because it feels like the house rules what they tried with events, and then all Madden head to head is what they think with their comp modes. Hopefully, they can expand on both those going forward and into next year. But yeah, good luck to your Chiefs, bud. Gary I just dragged in, so he's part of the next crew. I'm gonna put him back. Jedi bro, final thoughts.
Now, I was going to say, thanks for having me and all that stuff. And then I remembered that the Super Bowl takes place in Arizona this year. God, I'm going to have PTSD this weekend, and it's not going to be fun. Bye.
For Seahawks? Take it easy. Jets, final thoughts.
My final thoughts, they really need to fix the dropping of cards. Like if they are in the Super Bowl or teams that are in the Super Bowl, drop those relevant teams like to the Super Bowl or to past Super Bowls. I don't know, like more Niners, more Steelers, stuff like that. Or if they drop cards and they're trying to make everybody happy, like give everybody on their team each a 90. I know it's 32 teams, but still, you can make something happen. You can make the community happy. It would be nice, to wait instead of waiting months for your team to finally get a player. And heck, some teams are always losing, so they never get any players. So I think that's one thing. But
one question: will this community ever be happy with any card drop?
No, you're right. That's true. No, they won't. But it would be nice to have. It would be nice to be looking forward to a player that is at least on your team is going to drop, or was on another team that is on your team that would be dropping. That would be nice.
That would be kind of cool. Balance out the theme teams a lot more and make them more usable versus Legends. I agree. Appreciate it, Jets.
Yep. See you, buddy.
Yeah. Icy Tones. Final thoughts. MUT Madden.
I just want to say it's a testament to EA's weird mind control ability they have over all of us, to the point where we all come in here and complain about the game for an hour, but yet everybody still says it's the favorite Madden ever.
Yeah. Like, we'll expand on your thought there. Is that good or bad?
And it's just so weird because, like, everybody in this chat basically for the whole time point out all the problems with consistency, abilities, color drop, etc. But then when you ask the question, is Madden fun? Everybody give a resounding yes. It's just odd to me, but oh well, love you, Fox.
Yeah, take it easy, Icy. Appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed your counter arguments and everything you said about that. That was badass. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
So, well, I'll say one thing about that before I ask Sauce on his final thought before we move on to the second crew. Isn't that good though? That we still have fun, but we still hate every aspect of it. Like, we're still addicted. I guess that's not good, but it's still, people said, good game, fun for them to play. But like, isn't it good that like there's so much potential that they can fulfill, and it's Embry says it's his favorite ever, because Madden's in the past. He's absolutely right. Madden, there was things you couldn't even adjust to. Just like 3 years ago, the crossers. Well, I said 4 years ago, 19, where it's all crosses. There's literally nothing you do against double crosses, and they added zone drops to stop it. So Madden is definitely not there, but I can see the improvement in it. It's still a tragic spot. But that's all I gotta say about that. Sauce, final thoughts.
Thank you for having me, Fox. And then kind of just going to the point where you just said that I totally agree that in past years they had certain plays that no matter what you did, there was no stopping it. You know what I mean? Like you could only use so many sides of the fucking football field. But kind of going on to the nightcap, I don't know. I mean, the gameplay to me is iffy. Sometimes I have fun with it. Sometimes I just rage out of control. But I mean, that's kind of what brings us back is just that, you know what I mean? Am I going to perfect it this time more deal? But I did want to kind of give a point to the market. I just feel like this has been the best year market wise. You know what I mean? We got training down to like two coins per training point this early on and all that good stuff. And I think that's probably one of my funnest part is playing the market in Madden. So man, big ups on this year and all that stuff. And overall, I do enjoy the game. So once again, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy, Sauce. Great thoughts. Market is something I want to talk about in the second half of the pod. Tez, final thoughts.
Yo, final thoughts on EA. I think the game's trash at the moment. I can't. Every time I play a game, hike the ball, I just keep being bent over by Kevin Green. You know, I just can't get the ball off. But I don't know. I just feel like they just need to nerf the loop blitzes. Loop blitzes are pretty fucking awful right now.
Yeah.
Not having fun, but other than that, I mean, the game, the mark. I'm having fun being a menu guy right now. But other than that, the game, they just need to fix that. And then the O linemen, Jesus. Yeah, don't get me started on the O linemen. They're fucking awful. And that's my last thoughts on EA. Mr. Gut Fox.
Appreciate you, Taz. Thanks, bud.
Oh, last thing, fuck the Eagles.
Dallas fan, I take it. So second, I guess could have been a Niners fan. I don't know. Somebody says MUT's like our wives. We love it, but we get mad at it a lot. That was a fair point in chat. I didn't see where that was again. I just scrolled up and I missed it. But Go Fox put me out of the market game 16-17. Fuck yeah. All right. Second half of the pod. Who should be our first one on? Who's been here the longest? I think I remember. God, who was the first one in here? I feel like Corbin Dallas has been here, so we'll go with Corbin Dallas first. Corbin, what's going on, man? Second half of the pod, you're the first one in. Initial thoughts? How'd the first half dudes do? Can you roast them? Can you compliment them? What do you think?
I've unfortunately had to mute the podcast while we were in because it was echoing on the computer, so we were just talking amongst ourselves, basically running a second podcast side by side.
You sons of bitches.
Sorry.
So you guys know nothing about what we were just discussing?
I have no clue. I'm sorry. I'm useless.
This is why we keep you separated in the den. We cannot have any commingling of conversation. Okay. So this is Muttman 2 with Gut Fox 2. Okay. Was there anybody in the previous conversation that wasn't in there? All right. Let's bring in. Let me see if Fat Geezy had anything. Fat Geezy, were you paying attention to anything in the podcast prior to this, or were you just talking with everybody in the waiting room?
Says his mic is muted, my friend.
I see that. There we go.
Here he is.
Yeah, I heard you.
All right. Did you pay attention to the first half of the podcast, or were you just in the waiting room shit talking?
I was in the waiting room, but I heard the whole podcast. I was
okay. Watching. All right. This is awesome. So, roast or compliment, or what do you think about the first half about those dudes and what their thoughts were?
I mean, it was a compliment. I wouldn't say a compliment, but I mean, it wasn't anything I disagreed too hard with, you know. I mean, I guess the best factor was, you know, everybody is complaining, but at the same time, it's a great game. You know, like last year, I mean, Derrick Henry and the scrambling factor was just crazy. But at the end of the day, they're progressing, and they're progressing well. So
yeah, I kind of
I'm a person who just.
Oh yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, I'm a person who just switched from PS4 to PS5. And the gameplay is so much better. I'm having so much fun, like learning the new passing system, the freeform. I'm having so much fun with the freeform passing. I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah, this game, like Madden 21, when that was on like old gen and new gen, the new gen game was fucking terrible. And then 22, I could see the arguments either way, but 23, it's not even close, right? And now that the field, like they didn't even care about the field goal block glitch on old gen. I think 23 is also like, you know, where they're putting their time and effort in. Like it is interesting to see the difference between the main two games I play, MLB and Madden. And Madden just fully focused on next gen from 22 on, and MLB still focusing on old gen, which is just wild to me. So I think they made the right call. But I'm glad to hear that, like, you're saying it's so much better, because I've heard people say the opposite. They still prefer old gen.
They're just being over cynical. Those are people that just feel safe and secure and don't like a challenge and to learn new things. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably like the old meta. You know, they like running 2 plays a game on offense and defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with Embry. If somebody's trying to do one play against me, they might be successful for a little bit, but I will be able to shut them down pretty easily in next gen, which is something you can't say for a lot of old Maddens, right? Because like somebody in chat said, Madden 23 is kind of bad, but compared to 21, the game's a godsend.
Yeah, because if there's counters to everything, I feel now. I feel like the rock paper scissors aspect of the game is much improved.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, sometimes even when how the quadfather was released, I mean, I understand they could have created a better counter before, you know, like secure tacklers or like the honey badger with the 0 AP, what's it called? The, what do you have? The automatic hit stick where you tackle them? Yeah, so, I mean, sometimes they have bad timing on it, but at the end of the day, you can counter usually everything.
Yeah.
Someone in the waiting room presented the idea that the quadfather was a counter to dollar coming or being so strong for so long that EA just kind of gave a middle finger to the guys running dollar, and they were like, "Here, do a quadfather, guys."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Pretty awesome. I want to talk about MUT a little bit here and the coming Super Bowl promo. Okay, so we get 7. Maybe I should bring somebody else in for this. This is a good transition period. Sear, you're in here for this. Looks like your headphones are muted, so I'll wait for you to unmute that. But like, for the two, Fat and Corbin Dallas. So, what do you think about 97s now entering the game? Is the market gonna crash tomorrow, or what's gonna happen? What are your thoughts?
I feel like the TVP is going to go away, and the amount of 97s coming in the game is going to keep the market at a somewhat maintained at the same price.
Sear, what do you think?
I think it's gonna drop, right? Like, no TVP. Everyone's gonna sell off all their cards. I predict a lot of people not having anything to do with their coins, not gonna spend anything. I would market go down.
It makes a ton of sense to me.
A couple years ago, I would agree with that, but I think people are more market savvy this year. I think we're not going to see as hard of a spike right away. If we get a long time without the TVP, yeah, we're going to see a drop to like 2 coins per training point.
Definitely.
Why do you think it's savvy and any different? Talk to me. Like, why would that change the market dynamic?
I blame you almost directly for Market Mondays and the content that you put out and the stuff we do in the den on a daily with loopholes and information as far as how to do, you know, sets and make money, and just it makes a much more savvy MUT player.
But I was sold on previous podcasts with the community that like nobody fucking listens to me, and there's so many more casuals out there that don't listen to YouTube and stuff. But like, it's still market dynamics. Like, even though we know it's coming, there's a literal floor on the TVP on training that it can't really go below, even though there's definitely snipes that you get below it and everything. But like, so like the market's at that floor, and then the floor goes away, gravity takes us all with it, no matter whether we know it's coming or not, right? Corbin?
Yeah, there's so much information out there now that you can almost fall ass backwards into market information. If you just go onto MUT.GG for a second and scroll down a page and look around, you see all sorts of market information on just that one card. And if you have any questions, you start clicking on stuff and you're down a rabbit hole.
So what are you trying to say? So what's happening to the market tomorrow?
it just breeds a more savvy market investor. Having more readily available information is a good thing for everybody. Makes the game more fun.
Does it though? You don't like taking advantage of people? Isn't that why people hate online head-to-head? Because everybody's following ebooks and the forums and YouTube?
There will always be fools to be separated from their money.
So how's that any different than the market?
Well, there's the savvy investor. It's easier to be a savvy investor with the amount of information out there. So if you choose that path, then great. But if you don't, and you just, like I said, a fool and his money are soon parted, as the old saying goes.
I feel you. Yeah, so I don't know. What the clairvoyant Henry, you there?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Well, not bad. What kind of cards you want tomorrow? Obviously, we have a little bit of a teaser, and by the time this podcast goes live, we'll know. But like, what's your ideal Super Bowl promo?
So I was talking about this the other night. I think one of the 97's got to be Travis Kelce because he has like a 91 right now. Not sure what you guys just talked about, so don't want to rehash anything. But he needs one, maybe a Hurts card, because he could get Team of the Year, could get the Super Bowl MVP. But if he gets neither of those, then he needs a new card for sure. Are we getting the past tomorrow, or is it the present?
I would guess past tomorrow, present the week after.
Okay, got you.
He's got a 94, by the way. For Kelce, it looks like.
He does like
okay.
with things.
Yeah, Tyree maybe? David Tyree would be dope.
So you think Tyree tomorrow, Super Bowl, past perform? Anybody else? What about you, Sear? Who do you want?
I guess they're gonna give us a Brady's retirement card. Gronk or not Gronk? Good one.
Is it just gonna be Patriots? Cringe.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Yeah. Or one of your guys from San Antonio Holmes. That would be a good one.
I like that for sure. How about you, Fat?
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
What
was the question?
What card do you want for Super Bowl?
I got a Commanders theme team, so anybody that plays for the Commanders, I'm cool with.
You're a Commanders fan, or you just like their theme team?
Yeah, Redskins, HTTR.
What? Why?
I'm I'm raised in Maryland, so it's a local team.
Oh, okay. So you're basically born into it. That's tough.
Yeah.
Snyder's terrible, dude. I'm sorry. Hopefully he sells for you.
I mean, either way, if he does sell, I feel like it'll help a little bit. But either way, I'm a fan. It's all right. I got used to the losing.
Yeah. You in Cleveland, right? I always gotta take a shot at Cleveland here as an AFC North. So yeah, how would you change? And maybe I'll since I just brought in Clairvoyant, how would you change promos? Do you think like EA's kind of got like their promo sets within sets? Sometimes reroll, sometimes not. Sometimes depending on what packs are there. What would be a change to a promo that you'd want to see?
Man, I mean, we're kind of stuck in that same hamster wheel of like getting the mid-tier cards and putting them into a set for the big one, then quick selling them for training. I don't know. The whole B&D thing obviously is whack. But other than that, like we've been doing the same thing for so long that it just feels like a routine now. So I don't know. I can't even envision a change.
Really? That's kind of wild. Okay. Sear, what would you like to see change? Besides for like obviously solo rewards being better.
Oh yeah.
What would you want to see change in a promo?
Yeah, no, it'd be the rewards, like the compass rewards, the B&D nonsense that they have for like players we get. Why can't it be like full on like a pack that we get to pick instead of like the lower cards instead of like the set champion being a B&D?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So basically just like better rewards and stuff. K-Rock, any thoughts on the things you'd want to change? K-Rock, you're just dragged you in on promos.
Promos, okay. You can probably tell I'm pretty young than you guys, but this is my first. I know I sound like a newbie, but it's like my first fresh start to Madden.
Freshman. Get out the fucking what's that? The hazing tool. Holy shit.
Oh
Battles?
yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
But I've always been a COD guy. Got bored of it, so now I'm on Madden. I think the promos are cool. I think the animations are freaking sexy. But I mean,
a generation raised on anime. Okay, go on.
I don't know. I think the promos are good. I just feel like they have to fix the roles. Like that's like the heart of it. Like last year, I know everybody went crazy on those backyard ball rules. Now you can't even get crap. You have to be
Your mic's cutting out. Can you get closer to it or something?
Hold on. Is that better?
Yeah. So what were you saying
Well,
about?
I was saying like backyard ballers last year. Those rules were juiced out the wazoo. I mean, like you can't even pull stuff like that this year.
What
I
do
don't
you
know.
mean?
I think like a lot of people, they pulled so much LTDs, but they like this you have to do so much more sample sizes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, just the odds aren't as good. I mean, I love AKA. I think that's my best promo in a long time. I love that promo. But
So you like the overpowered, crazy stuff?
I love King Henry. I'll tell you that. That card's awesome. But I think it's cool. Like you said, I think those players like the running backs, they counter dollar, which is absolutely broken. It's just a good a different thing to do, kind of, you know.
So what brought you from COD to Madden? Like, what was the draw of Madden? Was it just being a football fan, or did anybody bring you over? Did you watch a certain like YouTube video on it, and they'd be like, oh wow, I want to play that?
Well, I think I've always been watching MMG, you know.
Shut
kind
up,
of the main
bitch!
culprit.
You were supposed to say I watch you, Fox. You got me into it.
All right,
Wow,
I
you
watched
fucking
Gus
fumbled the
Fox.
bag.
I never heard of that Matthew Maher guy. I watched Gus Fox. But anyways, yeah, I think that, and I'll be honest with you, like I would watch like NFL occasionally when I grew up, but honestly, Madden has helped me so much more in my football knowledge. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it helps so much. Like have to like I don't know, it just increases my knowledge. I think it's awesome. I love Madden, especially like coin making. I love being a menu player. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think unironically, MMG is probably the best advertising tool for Madden. As much as, you know, he shits on it, I think him and other big YouTubers, and I think like a lot of companies realize that now. Like he's probably brought in like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people to try out Madden with how like engaging, and the same thing with like other big YouTubers, RPT, okay, like I said, like they do such a good job of bringing eyeballs onto the game. It's by far EA's best marketing tool for getting people to play the game. Is like, oh wow, this game actually looks fun, and it is fun. So it is underrated too. So okay, does anybody here, like going back to my original question, anybody here, and I'll bring in maybe somebody else, and let's bring in Noah, and anybody else. Does anybody here have an idea for what you'd like changed in a promo at all, or you could just
bring back the old school power up method to where you could have a Tyreek Hill go for like 100K just off of his power up. Or like if you like now, if I have like I got a Deacon Jones powered up on my Commanders team. Now that card is irrelevant because I'm pretty sure they're gonna come out with some other card, and now I just wasted. I bought Deacon probably for like 100K or something, but you know I liked how you had to keep certain power ups and then maintain them or upgrade them throughout the year. Now they're just irrelevant. You have to sell them once they get a new card.
Corbin, you want to say
That
something?
was a boiling hot take. I completely disagree with that statement. Like, I couldn't disagree.
What a
with
son of
you
a
more.
bitch! Go on, keep going.
I hated the old power-up system, and I'm glad it's dead.
I think it'd probably help theme teams though. Like if you had guys that you were kind of locked in for the whole year, then you could have that player and power them up.
I run a 50 out of 50 Raiders theme team. I have all year long. I will never go to a Legends theme team. I will stick with my Raiders Nation, ride or die. And yeah.
So do you have any power up? Do you have any power up legend players on your Raiders theme team?
Yeah, I've gone through Rod Woodson's every iteration of that card without crying about it, and I've got Lester Hayes as my CB5 right now, and I'm sure they're gonna recycle him at some point in time, like they do with every friggin' card in the game. So,
yeah, like okay, power ups are so fucking dumb. Like it's so stupid. I get it. You're like, oh, I gotta sell my old card, but you lost how much value in training powering them up. And yeah, okay, it was fine. Now you got a new one, you can power up your old one. That's a cool mechanic. But like, you're also losing that like hundreds of thousands of coins that it takes to take that much training into the card. So like, the fact that you got to sell your old card, which at a certain market value, like it's going to go down regardless if it was new or old. And for like, yeah, a day or two, it would be a higher price before the market back corrected to it being back down to its old low price when the new one came out. Like, you're not saving anything by having power-ups. It was actually a huge fucking drain on our bank accounts to get the new cards. It was like an all-around negative. Like, the only thing I could have seen positive is that parallels on power-ups, but they didn't decide to do that. Power-ups are trash. They're always been trash. There hasn't been a single year where power-ups haven't been trash. The only argument you could say for power-ups was when we were able to put them in sets, remember? Like second, like 19 or something, you were able to power up a card to like an 84 overall and put it in a set, and EA saw, oh wow, you got a loophole, they patched it out the game the next year, so you can't do shit with power-ups anymore. So it's an insane loss of coins and money using power-ups and even power-up cards that you already had. Because guess what? Those middle steps where they took 30,000 training just to go from like 91 to 93, and if your new card was 96, then you go to like 95 also, so another 50 to 70k training there too. Overall, terrible opinion, Fat Geezy. Any response?
Yeah, well, you are using way more coins, or last year's method, more training, but they are supposed to be, I don't know if they are, some cards aren't, but they are supposed to be the better cards because abilities rule the game. And now the power-up cards, you can have, the legend cards, you can have multiple abilities versus the last 2 slots just being used. You can use the last 3.
Yeah, but that's EA's choice, right? There's no reason stopping from EA from just saying now every card gets the last 3. Right? Like, that's just the choice that they made. There's no actually inherent benefit to the power-up. It's just because they just decided that's the thing.
The only thing that really helped the power-ups though was the gap pack method, right? The gap pack method, like you can get the power-ups, like if a 68 Tyreek Hill went for like 100k, then you can rip those 500 coin packs and like make a ton of money that way. And like the mid-tier cards, like the 88 Donalds would have value all year long because of it. But I get all the drawbacks too.
Right, because I made
old
2
power-ups
million
is just like owning
Hang
a
on,
boat.
let Fat go first, Corbin.
Sorry.
I made 2 million coins just off of Mark Brunell. Like, I pulled his 94, did his set, got his 96, sold his 96 for 1.5, and then, because I got a Commander's theme team, I was just rocking his 94 for like a week, and then his price dropped to 500,000. So, and then I've done that. I've done it with somebody else too, but I've done it a few different times. Like, if you get on that initial day where legends are dropped, you can definitely take control of the market and make money.
Yeah. So you like it because you pulled packs and got a high end card. I mean, you could have just sold the 94 also for around that same price at the time.
Yeah, but I'm also using that card. Like I said, I got a theme team, so I guess it really just helps theme team users, and it would definitely be an L for anybody that's just using them and going to sell him later, because I'm gonna be rocking Mark Brunell for a while.
But like, that's any card. If you pull their card day one, but you're saying you like the lower end version of new limiteds. But like, say there was no power up, that 94 Brunell is still there. It's still put in the game just because it doesn't go on the power up path.
Yeah. Maybe it's just the method I was taking advantage of, because if they just dropped a 95 or a 96 Mark Brunell, I would have been able to buy him, but I wouldn't have been able to make money off him. Maybe not to my knowledge. Maybe I would have, but I don't think I would have been able to make money off him the same way, I feel.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if
you're
you would
proving
have
our point.
Oh, go. I think, Seer, you got something?
Yeah, I was just saying he's proving our point. That's just a money grab with these power-ups. They don't really do anything more for the game. Like, if you wanted to add more abilities, you could just have it baked onto just the Brunell card instead of putting him in the specific power-up and then just taking more coins or whatever to build him up.
Yeah. Corbin, you want to say something too?
Yeah, the old power-up system was like owning a boat. It was just a money sink. It's always going to cost you more money in that old system. At least at this point, I can opt out or not participate in this super ridiculously expensive Legends promos when there's no TVPs. It's so ridiculous. The Legends prices all year have been ridiculous. I just want to say that.
It's because their packs. Usually, Legend packs have been good packs, and so like they've always like. If you recall, in years past, market would dip on Saturdays because Legend packs and people pull a lot, and Legend packs brought out a lot of good cards in the game because their odds were high. This year, the fucking Legend pack odds are in the fucking mud versus like Campus Hero 2 packs, for example, or any other packs in the goddamn store. So like that's why it's been so expensive for the new cards, because we want to try them out. They're good cards, but the chances of pulling the new cards are terrible. I just recently brought in Comma. Any thoughts on power-ups and Legends?
I started playing Madden, I think around Madden 20, around Easter time, and there was the big glitch. And I had the Ed Reed glitch, where you got to power him up and do that weird shit. And power-ups, at first, in my opinion, were all right. I had to get used to it for a little bit. And then I was like, what the hell is going on? I really got to power up every single person that I want for my theme team. At first, I was like, it is what it is. After a while, it got kind of stale. I was like, it's kind of over and over, powering up someone, wasting training. It's like not the move.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. It's oh my god, I just put a limited on the TVP. It only took me 3 million training to pull 196 overall, going for 400k. Look at that, easy method, dude. Yeah, so I don't know. I personally am against it. Anybody feel there is that thought. Let's go ahead and bring in humble base. So like from Madden 20 to now, comma, like what's been the worst change? Comma? No? Humble, you there? Did I get there?
No, boss. Y'all hear me?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can hear you. Humble.
Okay, cool.
What are your thoughts?
He just left.
He said, "Can you hear me?" and then dipped.
All right. I heard you. I'm gonna see you later, though.
All right, take it easy, Corbin.
No. I was just saying what he did. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll see you later. I'll see you're going on too. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know. So what do you think's been the worst downfall then of Madden? If Comma couldn't hear me, Sear, what's been the worst change in the last couple of years?
In terms of gameplay or market?
Market. MUT.
A lot of people are gonna say I don't like the TVP. I personally don't like the TVP.
Whoa.
I'm not a fan of TVP.
Okay.
I just think
before you're hung up in the town square, explain yourself.
Well,
pitchforks ready.
The only thing it's good for is getting LTDs, right? What if the packs weren't so god awful that you could just get them through the packs? I feel like when you have the TVP, you have this floor for training. So in essence, the prices for cards are going to be no lower than this seal, whatever it is. While it brings value to cards, now these new set cards are going to be expensive. So, but when there's no TVP, training is low, cards are cheaper. I can get a higher end card for less coin.
I actually agree with you now that you explained that.
May I counterpoint that?
Yeah, go ahead, Corbin.
I think that it lowers the entry level for the LTDs, makes them more accessible. It makes the game more fun to have an infinite role, or to have something that you can invest your time for the people that don't want to sit online and grind the game. I just don't see how it's bad. Because opening packs, it just costs more coins, it seems like.
I'm not against roles. I'm against the TVP. If you have a specific program role that was actually like somewhat good, I think that's not bad. I think it's when you have the TVP at all times. I think that's bad. Where prices are set at this because it returns coins. If you just had it returning cards, that'd be different.
If there was a lower entry level coin pack, I would agree. If they switched up the way that is, if there was like multiple different levels of coin packs that you could buy or some cheaper way to do it. It just seems like the training variety pack keeps the market kind of at an even keel and makes the game more fun.
Yeah, bring back those gap packs.
So for sure.
So I got a couple things I want to say. First of all, Dollar Gets Paid is just like shitting on you guys now, which is ironic because he was the one that got shit in the most in the first group, and now he even he stated in chat. Let me see what he exactly stated. Hey man, well, let me see his exact words here. This is the guy. Wait, hang on. Where was it? He said about it hurt how much people were making fun of him in the first group. Oh wait, I think I found it here. Podcasting reading chat is an idea thought. Oh wait, hang on. Darn it, that wasn't exactly it. Nah, I lost it. But it was sad about getting made fun of. Anyways, he's making fun of you guys now. So the shoe's on the other foot. It's a little harder here. So anyways, about the TVP. Okay. So, let's knock out the prices of the limited, right? You said let's take that out of the equation because right now the limiteds are very expensive without the TVP. But you said if packs were good and gave more limited, then you'd be fine with that. The thing about the TVP and why it's nice is because there is the floor. And I think if a TVP was here the whole time and kept the floor there, that's one thing, and I could see why people would be annoyed. But the TVP comes and it goes, and that cycle of coming and going allows us as people who see that to profit. And then the TVP with that floor also allows us, if we know what the floor is, which we all basically do because we're experts at it, we can then snipe cards below that floor, then just roll them and make profit that way. It provides alternate profit opportunities for the community. That's not just the same thing again, right? How boring would this game be? Absolutely fucking mind-numbingly boring if the TVP didn't come out the last 5 days. People were like, this game fucking sucks. This game's awful. They brought out the TVP. All of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I got this training. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to roll all this stuff that I've already got in game anyways. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of training other than these other awful goddamn rolls that only convert back into trading anyways, right? So the fact that they convert into coins means you can take the coins, buy packs, make the pack, take the TVP, convert it into coins, and vice versa. And then you can do like an infinite roll almost, with the exception of like, EA takes their tax on some of these things to pull for that limited, because there is just a fun factor in pulling packs. But if you take away the TVP, you can't convert back, and therefore there's the lack of fun there. But I do agree that the TVP, if there's always in here, that's a problem. But the fact that it's in and out like a good time is why the TVP is great for the game, in my opinion. Counterpoint.
I like how they dropped it only for 5 days. The time before that was about for like a month, I think it was, or something like that. It was a very long time. So if they keep short variations of it, I feel like that would help both sides.
Yeah, and TVPs also raise the value if you are going to put money into the game, right? For your theme team, like you say, and you pull that 94 Brunello or any card, it also brings a lot of freaking value to packs too that you buy with money. So it helps out that. The TVP also helps out people that win like Super Bowls and Legend difficulty, because everybody complained about getting these like, low 90s and stuff. But now those low 90s have a ton of value because you can just roll them into the TVP, or you can just sell them on the market for such an inflated rate versus when the market's at like 2 or under 2 per, like we had just a week ago. Which one of you said the TVP was trashing? Was that you, Spore Leader?
No, that wasn't me.
Who was it?
No.
Who said the TVP was trash? I want to hear the counterpoint.
I don't think he's going to stand up.
No, that was me. I was saying I didn't like it. I said I didn't like it. So here's my other point. So I forgot, what was it, 21 when we had so on the weekends, let's say we have the Legends packs, right? I think it was in 21 we had a Legend reroll. Why can't they put in program specific rerolls with the limiteds in them, and that way people don't have to necessarily rip packs to get rid of the necessary TVP.
I'm literally staring at program specific rerolls and they still have in the fucking game.
If they were actually good.
What do you mean by good?
For example, the AK roll, isn't it awful?
Yeah, they're all awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if it was good, if it had like, other things in it besides that, maybe some coin cards or something else plus the program. I don't know. Maybe if there was some variety to the pack.
Yeah, what that? Maybe you can buy it not just with coins. Like you know how real packs you buy with coins. What if you can buy with another currency? Like, what are you saying?
I'm sorry.
What are you saying? No, that was a great one.
No, I'm saying in terms of like the need for training. That's all my point was. Is that the TVP keeps the market high because we need training in order to roll it because it returns coins. I'm saying that my point was we can still get the cards we need through a specific roll through like legends or whatever. Because people were saying that the LTDs like we are like 2 million coins or whatever because we couldn't get there's no other access to them besides.
I said take the
opening packs,
legend.
let's say.
I said take the legend prices out of it because you said take the legend prices out of it, and so no, not besides for the legend prices, limiteds being so high. You're saying we just need more rolls on different programs. And the problem with good rolls is that EA is never going to give them because good rolls mean loopholes. And we've had loopholes before, and EA doesn't like that because people end up just rolling it all day, which is awesome, but then people end up just botting it, and then it just goes infinite over and over and over. And that's something that they don't want. So, explain yourself. Explain yourself more why the TVP is bad, besides for what you have said.
I mean, my only thing was just getting cards are cheaper. Like especially when you have new cards, like the playoff promo. All these cards were like 300K, like the next day or whatever. Now they're like up to 400 or 500. Now that the TVP will be probably gone, they'll be cheaper tomorrow. But it's just I like the gameplay aspect of using the new cards for cheaper. That was my only point. That's the only reason why I don't like the TVP as much.
But like, okay,
Savvy investor. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Oh, go ahead, make your point. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to dominate.
For a savvy investor, the market swings are amazing. The training value variety pack coming and going, adding value to the market for a brief moment, and then leaving, and you being able to play that aspect of the or that angle and invest at cheap training. I spent what $2 million in training because Gut Fox was like, oh, it's training variety packs coming back, invest. I did that. It's back. I've made so many coins. It's filthy. I love it.
No, absolutely. And the market aspect of TVP is awesome, but I like more gameplay. I like playing the game, not a menu streamer as much. I'm saying you're right. In terms of the TVP coming and going, if you know how to play the market correctly, you can make tons of coins. You're absolutely right
I
about
used to be a solo grinder, okay? So I'm not a big... a little bit about me. I have a heart condition, so playing online for me is super stressful, and it drives my heart up and drives my anxiety up. So playing against people online is not my favorite thing to do. So the solo grind, the menu grind for me, finding other aspects of the game that are fun, it brings more value for my time because it's literally the only game I play. I play Madden and racing games. That's all I do.
Yo, but why does training need to exist? Like, now that they've gotten rid of the power-ups, exactly. Like, if we just got rid of the training price for abilities and stuff, and you could just equip whatever you wanted, they could take it out and replace it with any other alternate currency. And that's the beauty of the TVP is like arbitrage, right? Taking from one currency, translating it into another, and making money on conversion rates. It makes it fun to play the market for sure, but training honestly shouldn't even exist anymore.
Anybody got a response? Oh, go ahead, Corbin.
I don't argue that point at all. I agree training shouldn't exist, but I have to deal with what is in the game.
Right.
And whether or not the training variety pack coming and going and it existing in the game, I think is an overall pro as opposed to a con for the game.
Yep, I love the different currencies for sure because they allow, coin making opportunities when you flip them back and forth. Definitely.
So why did you call into question their existence?
The eggs.
Well, just training as a whole, like I don't know that there needs to be an alternate currency, but I'm glad there are alternate currencies. But it's like if EA wanted to screw us, they could just get rid of all of them because they don't need them.
Yeah, they used to. I forgot what was it like a few years ago. They had I feel like it was 7 currencies at once going on when there was we had like draft entry tokens. We had obviously training. We got the cred now points, coins. There was also, during promos, we'd have multiple currencies, how we get tickets in Blitzbuck. We had that. I feel like the entire top of the screen was just about taken at some points. But your point is what MLB The Show does, and they just have one currency. You just buy stubs. There's no points. There's nothing else. And it's a different kind of game, but in the end, I don't mind. Yeah, they don't need to do anything with the alternate currencies at all. They could literally just have coins in this game, and that's it. And we just buy coins and then use those coins to roll packs and to buy cards off the market. But EA likes it this way, and I don't hate it. Anybody else? Is anybody here against training outside of Clairvoyant?
I wouldn't say I'm against training, but like you said in the show, it's like you can buy stubs and you can't really buy coins in Madden like through the game. So that's why like points have to exist, and then I'm glad training exists because you can't buy coins. But if you could buy coins and then packs were like better, like in the show, and solos gave good rewards that you can sell for coins,
All right, you're
they just
psycho.
made it like the show.
You're
It'd be-
psycho,
it'd be
dude.
pretty
The show
decent.
packs are ass. Holy
Well,
shit.
at the
Okay.
beginning of the year, they're pretty good though, right?
Brady.
At the beginning of the year, when you pull the high
What
diamond.
did Brady say? I just dragged him Brady.
I
He came in hot.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled that out of his butt cheeks, dude. I bought like I don't know. I played the show for the first time in like months yesterday. Sold the card that was going for like 3 million. Opened up like 500 packs and pulled 586 diamonds.
Wait,
You're telling me
wait, this
that
ain't adding
now.
up. This ain't adding up. There's no card can go over 1 million coins in the show. 3 million?
Or well, no, I had multiple coins that sold for multiple millions.
Oh, okay, all right. Holding the story.
Like the
Phil.
old ranked seasons rewards are like super expensive because they're going for collections that are like, you know.
No, I agree with that, and like I don't know, EA used to sell coins. They used to do that, but they stopped it because their lawyers said that's too much like real gambling or something. So that's why they had to put in points to like separate it, so that way you know how I forgot what are those things in Japan, those like markets where like in one store you play the game and like you gamble, but since it's illegal in Japan, you gotta. Yeah, pachinko, and then you take that item and you go to the store over and exchange that item for real money.
Because gambling's illegal, so you can't directly exchange it. So you have to go to the next store to the store for a prize.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they do with the alternate currencies. It's a way to separate you mentally from your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
But don't they sell coins on like Madden Mobile?
We don't talk about Madden Mobile anymore.
I'm sorry.
They ruined Madden Mobile.
Yeah, they
Sorry.
Isn't that Voldemort's in this chat?
Damn, we got one more group to get through. Actually, I just brought in Jim. I'm gonna send. All right. So like, dude, we just keep multiplying here. We're gonna bring in another group. I want to go through. Give me your greatest hot take on Madden. Before we switch on to the last group here. Brady, hot take Madden.
I mean, I genuinely think that the compass is decent. It's not the best. It could improve, but it's decent.
I like that.
I think a lot of people hate it, but I think it's not bad.
I would agree with you there. I think I think they're gonna improve it next year without a doubt.
Could be way worse.
But yeah. All right, Brady, appreciate it.
Yeah, peace out, gentlemen.
Clairvoyant Henry, biggest hot take.
All right, we're going hot here.
Okay.
The games aren't getting worse. We're just getting older and have a bad mindset.
That's a good one.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, I'm young, so I can't say that, but I mean.
K-Rot, what?
Like I grew up on Madden 05, and like these games are
What's up,
infinitely
Mr.
better than
Fox?
Madden 05.
Definitely.
Who said my name?
I said your name, K-Rock.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
What's
we'll
up?
we'll see who the fuck K-Rock is in a little bit. But yeah, it's a good point. So like, Madden 23 is better than Madden 05. Madden 05 is my favorite one of all time.
Like just the animations and stuff, like the fact that you can like use your lurk better. Maybe I was just trash as like a 5-year-old at the game, but now like the gameplay feels fluid and like inputs are more rewarding. Versus like that game was just like go hit stick the running back and they'll fumble.
Or zigzag through the line.
Yeah, it was like Tecmo Bowl type shit. Like you're just going left, right.
Much more arcadey. Because that's how games were
Yep.
back then, was arcadey. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's like the balance of real life versus, you know, what a video game is and like control over your player out there. And they've definitely seen their vision of Madden. And Madden is trying to be more realistic as far as player movement versus, you know, one-to-one movement on the joystick. Like, remember human joystick in like Madden 20? It was actually insane. So, yeah, appreciate that, Clairvoyant Henry. It's a good take. I mean, we get more jaded as we grow old. It's true. That's why we're angry old men.
It's just a hot take. I don't know if I fully believe it, but love you, Fox. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy, Clairvoyant.
You too.
All right, Fat Greasy, one of the best hot take artists we've had currently. What's your end hot take?
Two things. One, the trophy packs need to be boosted heavily. Like you win a Super Bowl and don't get anything. But the transition from Madden, the transition from Madden 22 to 23, as far as next gen, I give it an A+. I mean, you can complain all you want, but I mean, like the last guy said, I mean, it's definitely way more realistic.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That Madden 23 is an A+, but I guess you're just comparing like versus like a D-, which old gen Madden 22 was.
Right, definitely.
I get you. It's a good hot take. I appreciate that, Fat.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. You have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. All right, comma. Give me a hot take on Madden here.
I'm gonna back off of what Brady said about the field pass and competitive pass. They're not that bad. Maybe the players you get out of the competitive pass could be a little higher overall than the players that we're currently getting, but a lot of people do reach that point, so I get there with that. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think they're not that bad.
All right. I mean, like little duplication there, but I agree. It's not a bad idea. Take it easy, comma. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Peace. Noah Rivera, hot take me on Madden. Anything, MUT.
All right.
What you got?
We might get some backlash for this one, but I'm gonna say the loop blitz is great for the game. It's great.
Bullshit! You better say something. You better justify this shit.
Listen. When you get into a game and you're playing little Jimmy and Timmy, you want to get out the game quick. So you just loop them, and then the game's over. They just quit. So you're just out of the game fast, and then you're in the playoffs, and then you go get your little packs, and then it's over, and then you win.
What
you're
the
happy.
fuck?
Facts, it's a time saver.
Okay.
Exactly. Dude. You hit them with one loop blitz, and they don't know how to block it, so it's over for them.
What the fuck
That's why I run loop blitz all game.
What the fuck is up with this community, dude? Okay, so like, alright, I follow Elm with his show streamers and players on Twitter as much as Madden, and like, dude, Elm with his show people are pissed when you get a freaking rage quit against you, right? They're like, oh, fuck this, I want to play out the game, what is this going on? Madden dudes are like, let me just cheese this guy to death so I don't have to play him anymore. What's the point of playing the game if you're just gonna have him quit?
Well, you want to win.
That's not winning.
Anything? You don't want to win, Fox? Fox, do you not want to win?
Yeah, I want to win, but I want to actually play the fucking game, and so I can outskill them, not like fucking throw them back through their line.
You gotta cheat. You gotta be able to cheese them so they just go cry in the corner. That's the goal when you get on Madden. You're
an evil human being. You're making children cry.
It's great. It's great.
You're from the Jemiah school of thought. I gotta respect it though, man. Yeah, those kids need to learn, dude. This is a cold, harsh world. Teach them early and teach them good in Madden.
Get them ready for the bullying at school. Just get them ready.
I love it. That's a great hot take, though. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Peace.
You too.
All right, Seer, we're on you. Give us your MUT or Madden hot take.
Well, I know you're pretty hot about this topic.
Uh-oh.
I don't think comp Madden is that bad. I actually enjoy the competitive part, seeing people play at the highest level, seeing how I guess not necessarily the meta, but seeing how people beat the meta. So I don't mind comp Madden.
That's kind of like a soft take. A hot take would be like
hot about it.
What's that?
I know you're hot about it. I know you hate it.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping you can be a little more forceful with the opinion. Like, Fox, the fuck, comp Madden is the greatest thing for Madden. But no, here's the thing. I agree. I think, comp Madden is good for Madden because it allows the community to make money off the game. The fact that EA is paying people to play the game, it's great. the downsides of Comp Madden are ones that we've covered plenty of times before, as far as like, you know, exposing the flaws of the game, which, you know, just then goes everywhere afterwards. And you know, obviously that's from you'll see that shit on forums, you'll see that shit on YouTube too, like right after it goes live. It makes everybody play the same. That's true, but that's still, you know, there's still, you know, people's copying YouTube schemes and stuff, so that's not exclusive to Comp Madden. But like my biggest problem with Comp Madden is that it just takes resources away from the rest of the game, right? Like RG, who we talked about earlier in the stream, being one of like just a good dude. He left from you know, being like from a gameplay guy. Like he's the one that brought in zone drops. He's a zone drop guy, okay? And then he went over to, he's now in a comp, and like their players. So, like my biggest problem with comp is that it just takes resource, and obviously like, you know, the resource, we give so much more to EA than they give back to us because their CEO needs a goddamn fucking new jet every year, whatever it is. And so like there are plenty of resources at EA, but like they only give their games so much, and so much of those resources going to comp, so many of those things going to like fucking face of the franchise, takes away from the rest of it, in my opinion, which is why that is basically the only reason why I don't love Comp Madden. But there are upsides to it as far as, you know, getting people paid. So
your beef isn't with Madden, Comp Madden. It's with EA not spending money on Madden or enough money.
Yeah, and they're spending a fuck ton. Not only, like they got like a freaking stadium they built. They got people they paid, the tournaments themselves, travel that they're gonna be bringing back. Obviously during the pandemic there wasn't up until this point, but they're bringing that back. So there's a lot of things that are there and expenses for Comp Madden, and like obviously there's, you know, that's probably the main one I would say so. But like as for watching the top end players play. If EA watched them and they were like, wow, that looks like an exploit, and then they went and like changed their game based off like exploits, that'd be cool. And then the Comp Madden dudes will like hide their exploits and they won't actually make the game better. So like, and a lot of Comp Madden dudes have opinions on the game, and they're well listened to. And so like when the Comp Madden dudes are well listened to, like i.e. Joke, right? When he won with a punter in Madden 20, and then 21, the run game wasn't as dominant. He was angry about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just shoot gaps, bro. Like, the run game needs to do what a run game does IRL. And the fact that the comp guys will give their opinion on other people's schemes about this being overpowered, but my scheme is not overpowered, my scheme is skill, and then EA listened to them when there's an inherent bias behind the comp dude's input onto the game. And the fact that, you know, and this goes back years, this has happened to me many a times, right? Remember when there was a field goal block glitch in the game? Like this was like back in like 18 or something, and like they were complaining about it. Like you used to be able to like block players online by blocking them if they had a field goal block. If they fucked you on the field goal block, you just block them at the end to match up against them more. But apparently, like, you know, comp dudes and their salary cap leaderboards complained about it. Again, Joke. He said, hey, people are blocking me, so they don't have to play me in these comp. And then so they got rid of that function. And I asked Matt Markow, their trash-ass commissioner at the time, who recently, I think within the last year or something, moved on. That motherfucker, I asked them, I'm like, okay, so what are you took rid of the block. How are we going to stop people from just field goal block glitching us? And like, well, we're going to be watching it on the ladders. Anybody who does it will get banned. And I'm like, but what about, you know, the rest of us, the bigger audience? He's like, didn't respond. They're not doing anything for us. Okay, because they catered to the comp guys. They did what they said, and they didn't see the immense fucking downside for the rest of us that ended up having. So there's multiple angles to this whole shit, but I get your point. You like watching competitive dudes play each other.
Thanks for having me, Fox. Yep.
Take it easy, Seer. Take it easy. Spore Leader, your hot take.
Hey, how's it going, Fox?
Not bad at all.
Hey, this is just easy. I had to hop in on my burner. I didn't think you'd let me in. But my hot take is I haven't played Madden in 10 years.
You just watch MLB The Show stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you're stuck here. All right. Love you, Easy. Take it easy, dude. Real Corbin Dallas. Hot take on Madden.
Another poor soul trapped in the den.
Yeah, another one that
hot
can't
take
get away.
on Madden. I'm gonna attack the community here, unfortunately.
All right, do it. I want to see chat light up.
Well, we complain about the wrong shit. I don't know what else to say.
Example?
Well, The predatory nature of Madden, the fact that the packs have gone back to before Pack Strike, the fact that we wasted an opportunity with Pack Strike because we didn't come together, stand strong as a community. I'd like to see more unity and more, I don't know, more focus with our complaints, less bickering, you know. But I guess that's hard to do.
Absolutely. Everybody's got their own opinion on how the game plays. I was just talking about with like the comp stuff and being biased around their play, but like I don't know. I don't know how to comment. Do you think we should try Pack Strike again in a couple of years? Is that what you're saying? And then try and get everybody on board together? But I don't think that you'll never have a consensus amongst opinions on the internet.
The only way Pack Strike works ever is if we hit them day one.
You think so?
Absolutely.
The thing about hitting them day,
people are too invested. No, people are too invested. They spent too much money. People say, "Oh, I'm participating in Pack Strike," and they're spending hundreds of dollars just virtue signaling and saying, "Oh, I'm doing it, whatever," and still buying packs on the side. The only way to do it is to all come together, hit them right away, day one, right in the pocketbook, and have it mean something. But
the thing about hitting them day one is, wait, what's that?
So we have to have an overarching, like, one thing we want to change.
The problem is there's way more than one thing, right? Like EA changed a couple things with Pack Strike, but then, all these other things didn't happen, so people said it was fucking awful and it didn't work. There's just so many things wrong with Madden.
It did change stuff, I agree. But don't you feel like they rolled some of that stuff or most of it back already? Like odds and the value of bundles.
Toppers, yeah. Yeah, like Legend odds, the Wildcard Wednesday odds are terrible, yeah.
And that there's no real coin option for that. There's no re-roll for the weekly wild card is a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. Definitely agree there.
Listen, I just think the community complains about the wrong shit. We need to focus on like the predatory nature of it and not worry about the gameplay. Because the engine has a lot of development it has to go through. And it needs to either be rewritten and broken down from square one and started over. Because I don't think an overhaul is going to do it.
You don't think an overhaul is going to do it?
No, Frostbite's an outdated engine. They need to get off of Frostbite and come up with a brand new physics engine for the game.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Madden's engines even before Frostbite, like 17 was the last one on the old engine. That one still sucks. Do you think? I mean, I thought the cool thing they'd do is make a new engine for NCAA and then bring it to Madden the next year.
A sports engine. Frostbite was a shooter engine. I don't understand why they used it for a sports game.
Yeah, it seems weird. Chet says YouTubers are the problem, ushering in the passes and shutting down. YouTubers didn't usher in passes. Shutting down people who complained about the passes. YouTubers giving their opinions about the passes is the reason why the game sucks. I don't know. The thing about hitting them day one is like we don't know the game yet. Right, that's the problem with hitting them day one. I feel like they still have an opportunity to change things after we complain about them day one. So that's why when it was bad after complaining for a while, that's when the pack strike happened because it was so bad over and over. And legend packs, like legend toppers, pack toppers themselves, they were like it was like $100. You get like 250,000 coins out of it, and that was considered average. So
they went from gently shearing us and just taking a little fur and a little wool off the top to skinning us almost with the packs.
And so it was like it broke our backs, and that's when it happened. And then like EA then responded to that with topper changes. They didn't do the solo shit. Sadly, that was like the only thing they fucking said "fuck you guys" on was the solo rewards as far as like overalls for just like winning solos. But I don't know. It's a hot take. I like it, Corbin. Take it easy, dude.
Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Peace. All right, K-Rock. Give me your hot take on Madden.
Okay, that I don't have one as hot as that one was, but I'm your little TikTok Tommy. I call myself. I'm not too big. I'm not too little. I only have 2K followers. Anyways.
Did you just use this time to pump your own TikTok?
No, I wasn't trying to promote. Sorry, I wasn't.
I didn't ask you. Yo. Clout check. What's your follow count? No, just give me your opinion, man.
Well, I think content creation, doing like, small videos like pack opening, all this, it helped me enjoy the game more, I think is what my take is.
Okay.
Just having like a community behind you doing like, cause like what you're doing right now, I think it helps me have fun with the game more. And of course the game is fun, but I think it takes the extra step. And I'm not like your Xerxes, your The Truth You Dig, your Jack B. I'm not those guys, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it.
Wow, another opportunity to flatter me, and you fucking failed on it.
Not your average gut fox, you know what I mean?
Perfect.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just doing stuff like that. It makes me like the game more. Like going on a TikTok live for like an hour and just like trying to pull a limited. I think it's just, I think it's fun.
So what's the take? What's the hot take?
I just think content creation kind of boosts my enjoyment in Madden. I think that's my take.
It's a take.
Is that a take?
It's as cold as a polar bear's toenail. Yeah. Definitely creating content's fun and around stuff. Man, this new gen, you got to be a little bit more polarizing. Haven't you ever watched like friggin' Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless?
Of
Come up with
course.
some hot shit about like Tom Brady not being a top 10 quarterback all the time. Now that's a hot take.
Okay, I can cook something up real quick. Okay, I feel like Ultimate Team is not Ultimate Team. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like there should be more customization stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want Fred Blinokoff to be wearing an F7. You know what I mean?
What the fuck's an
I
F7?
feel like it's just like a helmet. It's like one of the new futuristic helmets they wear now.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
going unlimited.
Oh, nice. But anyways, I just feel like there should be more customization to your players. Because I know they do
Let
that in
'em
franchise, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I just want to customize my players more, be more creative. That's all. And
Yeah.
custom playbooks. I would love custom playbooks.
That's a hot take. Custom playbooks are a very, very contentious topic because, like, you're just going to get more BS, but both sides can BS more. Everybody's saying, what the heck? People don't know what an F7 is, but Fox knows what an Alt F4 is. Take it easy. Nah, love you, buddy.
See you, Fox. Thank you, man.
Peace. All right, let's bring in the new class. I said last class was the last one. I'm just gonna bring in everybody at once. All right, we're gonna knock out. Wait, let me bring in everybody right away. All right, we're bringing in everybody right away here. And Fred Zilla decided to leave. Okay, see you, Fred. And we're gonna go through it. All right, so everybody in here. Wait, do we already have Polo in here? Did he go back? Gary, I see. So we got Big Draco, Dawn, Gary, Polo, Jums, Mamba, and Wrinkled Towel. And then I guess Make Do here. Everybody, I need to know rate Madden. Add me, Roboto. Just hop in. Free beer. Oh, there you are. Yeah. So I need you to rate Madden off the top of your head without saying anything else. Give me a number between 1 and 10 for how good Madden 23 is. All right, I want to see. I want a baseline. I want a baseline. We're gonna go from top to bottom. No, we're just not in order. Dawn, you're not number one. You're not number one. It's Madden's already. All right, Big Draco, you're number one. Give me a number out of 10.
I give it a 5.
Okay, Dawn.
6.
Gary.
6 1.
6.
6. Polo.
7.5.
Jump. We're going up. I like this. It's like a countdown.
7.
Oh.
Sorry.
Nah, you ruined it. It's okay. Mamba. Mamba, number out of 10. How good Madden 23 is. All right, Roboto. Number out of 10. How good is Madden 23? Roboto, this is why everybody hates you. Wrinkled Towel. Out of 10.
The only acceptable answer is 6.5.
Why is that the only acceptable answer?
Because that's just true. I mean, it has its good moments and has its bad moments. You're either having really fun or you're about to punch a window out. So I'll give it a 6.5.
That's why you got to give it just a passing grade, just barely 7.5.
All right, a passing grade is 5.1.
Yeah, what school did you go to?
All of them.
You scored a 51 and passed? What kind of No Child Left Behind bullshit is this?
No, I said 5.1. I said 5.1.
It's not passing.
That's barely passing.
6
points. Barely. Yeah, I'm about to say six is passing. 7 is like you barely made it, but you made it.
But it's like in the middle though. So 0.1 is like barely passing.
This is madness. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. All right, let's. There was something I wrote down, but I don't remember if I have it still that I want to talk about with this last group. Okay, well, I don't remember what it was, but I want to hear. The hot take segment was kind of fun, but let's talk about promos again. I don't really get a good answer on promos during the last group. I want to hear it from this group. Anybody can speak up here. What changed?
I have one hot take.
What?
Power-ups were a good thing.
Okay, we're not doing that again. All right, we're not gonna do this. All right, we're done. We're past that. I don't want to get into the same bull. Let's not repeat. We got to do stuff. Okay. Nobody really answered this part. Andrew Tate was right. Thanks, long hair. Don't care. What would be something you want to change with promos? Since we're on the precipice of a big one tomorrow. Anybody?
More top cards. Like tomorrow they're dropping 8, which is cool. But like prior to that, it was like 6, 5, maybe 4 top cards, which is cool. But like, there's a lot of players that still don't have upgrades out there. Like, I'm not just gonna go through them all individually, but there are still a lot of players out there that don't have upgrades. And I feel like they could, if they did more top cards, maybe a few more medium cards, that way we can get some of them other cards, some upgrades. That would be great for the game.
So your problem with content is that there's not enough of it.
There's not enough of it. That's all it is. I just want more because
I got a question.
Top cards are so expensive. Oh.
I got a question around that. So EA gives us more content and say, okay, every single player in the entire just take it to the extreme. Okay, the mind thought experiment. Every single card in the game gets a 94 overall. What kind of content can they do going forward if every card's a 94? Because when you get a 95, you complain about +1s. So like, how much content is too much?
There's never enough.
Because I got other people saying, I followed somebody on Twitter that said this take, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Somebody on Twitter said, this was like a little bit ago, a few weeks ago, they said, I stepped away from the game for 4 days, and I have no fucking clue what's going on. It's too complicated. How do new players stay into it? Because like, it was something that I was like really into MUT for a while. So like, how much is that a problem where it's just too much and too complicated and way so much? Like, we don't know, like everybody, like all these new cards came out. Like, it's hard to like know what's out, what ability combos are out now without doing a heck of a lot of research. So it's very hard for casuals. Answer me there, Polo first.
See, now I'd say the problem with that would be for casual players, since you don't really get on the game as often as the rest of us do. Like, if they were to put out more cards, then you really wouldn't know who's the best of the best, at all times. So it would have to be more or less just like a feel it out session. But I feel like that'd be a lot easier to do with more cards because things wouldn't be as expensive. You'd have a lot more abilities on different cards you could try out. Like, I really feel like you could make the game a lot more fun, having a lot more cards and a lot more options. Now, for the one like you said, the ones that say it's a little bit more complicated for them because they don't get on the game as often, I don't really have a great solution for them because no matter what, EA is always going to drop content. They're all like every single week, there's always going to be more cards that they drop. So it's like kind of just got to get with the program, my man. If you're going to come back to the game and be committed to it, you got to really buckle down and commit to it.
So your suggestion is life's tough, get a helmet, and like
yes. So that's
like,
how the game is.
Is there anybody in here that's more of a casual?
That's never how EA's never going to operate like that. Like, EA will never, ever, ever operate for us.
Hang on, this is Bottle speak. Everybody, this is Bottle speaking. Go ahead, Bottle. Bottle's not the casual. Wrinkled Towel's the casual, but go on.
For us in I'm more of a casual this year. I'm way more of a casual this year than years past, just because, like, I'm just fed up with, like, EA and every single fucking thing they do. Even, like, the behind-the-scenes shit when, like, not for nothing, Fox sends me a thing or whatever menu streamer sends me a thing, and like we try to tell the EA and we just get fucking ignored. EA is not making content for us. EA is making content for Jimmy Two Shoes who just came home from fucking school and just wants to play MUT for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, that's why there's a Snickers thing. That's why there's the Nickmas thing. That's why there's all this shit. They don't care about us. Like, I want you guys to realize that, like, sure, we should get 97s, 98s, 99s, but like the average fucking player doesn't have more than a 93 overall on their team. Like, people just don't play it like us. Like, we're We are the fucking 1% of the community that will play this shit nonstop. And you can tell by like looking at the comp pass alone, the reward. Look at what number you have when you get it, right? Think about that. There's 50, 60, 70,000 people playing this game at once. And I just got the reward today and it was like 15K. You know what I mean? Like people aren't like, we're such a small minority that EA's not making the content for us. They're just not. They never will, by the way, because we're going to play no matter what. We're always going to play no matter what. No matter how many fucking people bitched about the comp pass, about the field pass, guess what? All of you who bitched about it, y'all are still playing. All of you who complained about it are still in it. So like they're never gonna do that for us. That's just not how it is.
Right.
It'll never be like that.
Two things before I turn it over to somebody else. One, why is chat like, oh my god, like they're just loving Roboto? Like this is completely different than what you usually get Roboto. like all Roboto do is insulting everybody in here, and it was like, oh my god, make this guy president. What the fuck? Hey! Secondly, that's fucking false. That's I get what you're saying to a certain extent, but aren't all these gotcha games catered to whales? What the fuck do you think we are, the hardcores? How the fuck much money is Jimmy Two Shoes coming home from school, and how much are they spending after school, okay? Right? It's the fucking guys that are like, 40 years old, got a job, a wife, a couple kids that can't fucking grind and work the market that's putting the most of the money in. The ones that they're like the whales, right? The guys with 100 million coins right now that did it through packs and not no money spent. All right, Roboto's the captain now? Okay, yeah, so, all right, respond to that.
That's not wrong, though, right? Like, I think both things can be true, though, here, right? Like, I think the whales that prop up and hold up the market or hold up everything that's going on with EA, when the bottom lines are checked, there's two bottom lines that they're checking for, right? They're checking for how much money is made, and they're checking for engagement. They're checking to see how many people log in. They're checking to see how many people play the game. They're checking to see all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's two sides of the coin there. So, like, yeah, there's the world where people are just going to, come home and spend money. And, like, there's, old man MUT, for example, just spends money, right? Like, he just will spend money. Fritzy, just spend money. Like those are people out there, but that percentage is so low, but it props up so much. On the flip side, there's a bigger percentage of people that log in maybe once every 3-4 days and just get in and just play. You know what I mean? Like those people are still like going to always be relevant to EA because that's always going to be a number that they're going to care for overall because all of those numbers are potential customers. That's the same thing when we do like at FanDuel. We try to get you in, and once you're in, we're going to try to lock you in. You know what I mean? Like that's just how they're always going to operate. So like, yeah, there's always going to be the whales. There's always going to be, Fox out here with 18 million coins and there's what's his name? Grant has 100 million coins now. Like that's 100% true. But like, though that's such a small minority, even smaller than us in here that are grinding for 1 million, 2 million, 3 million coins. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people just play this shit casually as hell.
Yeah,
and,
I understand and appreciate the promo drop on your company again. Everybody can't help but self-promote their shit. Huh? So Wrinkle Tower, did you say you were the one that was casual?
Yeah, I'm mostly an MLB player. Like, so I'm more casual to Madden. So I started getting into Madden maybe around like last year, the year before. It was kind of like a progressing thing. It just kind of grew more interest into MUT. So this year is like more of like my dedicated year, right? So I'm sitting at like a 93 overall team. But, I do have fun with this game, even though I do get mad with the gameplay. I really do like the content. I like that they put way more content, whether like people like it or not, more than MLB, because it's more usually like on a Tuesdays or MLB content drops for like headliners or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the content, but I really wish for the solos and like the challenges, I really wish they were just easier. Like you get better rewards and it'd just be like shorter challenges. But I do understand the value of like long grinds for a good card. Like, so you have like the Madden Forge for that Parm. Like, I understand that. But I do wish there was like easier weekly challenges for a good card, like in MLB with like tops now. And so in like certain things that happened, like last year, you only had to play like 5 challenges and you got like a 99 Tim Anderson.
Yeah, like there's a certain point, like that's great for the casuals and everything, but like at a certain point, wouldn't be as Madden players be angry at the game that it's just done. And like MLB The Show, they ran out of room in their game to put in new cards with any sort of improvement. Like playing 5 solos and then you're 99 overall and you got like an end game card. It's like, okay, so I'm done with shortstop. Like, I don't know. I really don't know if I like that as much as if that guy was like a 97, because I think like it was around 97s when they were out. Like, I don't know. Like, there is that absolute balance. Anybody got a thought around the balance? Let's go. Dawn, you're there. Dawn, check in.
The balance of what again?
Your mic's messed up. Dawn, repeat.
My mic's messed up. Can you hear me good?
Yeah. Dawn, are you coming to me from the space station right now? Like, we were using like a fucking old time radio.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's all right. Fredzilla, what do you got thought?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, good. All right. So, talking about balance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, with balance as far as like the gameplay and like.
No, content balance.
Balance
like
with
grind
with
versus
content.
giving
I'm
everybody
sorry.
99s.
Yeah. So, the balance with the content and people getting cards and everything like that, I feel like is just fine. Like, you can perfectly have a team that you can compete with just by interacting with the promos and everything like that. You don't have to interact with the packs and buying packs and stuff like that. The content is great. The balance is there. You can, like maybe, I know people aren't necessarily always running that part now, but they're not because we just got Gronk, So, like, I say this a lot. Season 3 is a big W. And people know I fucking hate EA. I hate this company with a fucking passion. But I still play it every day. You know what I mean? But this whole season, as far as like the rewards and stuff like that, is a big fucking W. So like the content is there. Everything's there for you to have a competitive team, being able to get a free 93 with the playoff promo, whatever that is, but they're able to give you opportunities to get a whole bunch of XP to go into season 3 to help you grind more to get those level rewards. Now, I will say that the level rewards do suck aside from getting the players, but as you found out on stream, like the Fred Belinikov, that's a good ass fucking player. The Carl Banks, that's a good player. They gave you Jay Hilgenberg, that's a good player. And everybody knows that everybody wants to kind of switch to a Legends theme team. Those are free Legends players that you can add to your squad if you want to go to a Legends theme team.
So you're saying, Fred, basically what you're saying is it's pretty good. It's not bad as far as the content we're getting for free.
Exactly. It's really not bad. Like, you don't have to go out and buy packs and stuff like that in order to be competitive, because they're giving you plenty of opportunities to have a good team.
Draco.
I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not always like that. Like you say about the Bolitnikov and everything. Like every promo, they don't always have the good lowers that are like that. At least can be usable in a sense as like the hires. Like I saw during the playoff promo, out of all the 93s, the only one that kind of you could use is the Quez Watkins. Is because if you have the Eagles team, you could buff up his speed and it could be just as fast as the upper higher cards. But I don't feel like they don't do that all the time. Like every promo doesn't always have the good lowers that could be usable like they used to always have. Because I remember every year there used to be like the cheesy lower cards that everybody could kind of use to compete with each other. But now it kind of just seems like they're only putting all the effort into the higher overall cards. They're just putting lower overall cards just like hold like as placeholders.
So you're just pissed that we don't have budget cards no more.
See, I don't agree with that at all, because I have two teams that I play with. My pack and play squad and my main squad. The pack and play squad that I have 93s on my team. And I can still I'm not a very good head-to-head player. I'm not. Like Fox is seeing me. Like I'm kind of shitty sometimes. Like I don't forget about like hash marks and stuff like that, like when I'm trying to play offense and stuff like that. But I can field an okay team with the lower 93s just by focusing on the abilities that they have. Like, okay, yeah, so one of the 93s doesn't get 0 AP nasty streak or 0 AP post up or whatever. It's 1 AP instead, but you can still use it. It's not just totally unusable. Like if you focus just
Yeah,
on
yeah,
overalls for your team,
I get it.
you're gonna lose.
We gotta let some other people speak on this one. I get it. There are some very usable solo cards. But like
Yeah.
back to the point at hand. Like, okay, so Wrinkled Towel was a casual. Was there anybody else in here that was more casual? Because I wanna ask them a specific question.
So, how much hours do you think a casual has? Like
per week, 5.
Because I have 35.
5.
Oh,
5 to 10.
I have 35 days, so.
You have 35 days so far. So you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, well you're maybe the most casual here. Has the content ever been overwhelming for you?
Absolutely not, because I watch you.
Son of a bitch. That's true. That's a good point.
But
you're on YouTube.
There's always gonna have to be a balance though, right? Because there's always gonna be the haves and the have-nots. So like, there's gonna have EA's never gonna give us all that type shit for free. But on the flip side is like, why are we getting 93 B&Ds? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be some sort of like middle ground here to where like, yeah, sure, you know, you can get Jimmy Two Shoes on and he can play the Legends. If you get MUT right now, you can grind and get like a 91, 92, 93 overall team. Like, if you just play solos, you can get all that shit between the Legends rewards, between team, everything, right? But like, that's after how long that all those promos have went on. You know what I mean? So there has to be a balance somewhere. And I don't think, no matter what EA does, nobody's going to be happy because everybody's so say they give us all champions, then what? Then we're all going to be like, fuck, everybody has the same champions. You know what I mean? So like, there has to be a way to do it. And that's honestly the dude who said the TVP thing earlier too. I don't disagree with that. Like, I kind of don't want everybody to have fucking LTDs for cheap. Like, that shit should be valuable. That shit should be valuable.
Well,
dude. Like, it shouldn't be like,
to an extent.
I don't think 1 million coins for an LTD is bad. Like, I
What?
don't think that's horrible. I don't think that's bad.
You know how long it takes to make 1 million coins in this game?
I don't think that's bad though. I think if an LTD is that good, if it's that good,
let Jumps cook.
I can't cook right now. I have to go work my minimum wage job, Fox. I want to say thank you for bringing me on, man. Love your content. Love everything you do. All right, I've been a huge fan of yours, man. I just want to say thank you. It's my dream to be on this podcast. I'll catch you later.
All right, thank you, Jumps.
I'm just saying if something's that good, right? Like, let's say that I don't know, pick Mike Haynes. Let's say like he was the top corner, came out as an LTD, and it's that good. That shit should be 1 million coins. But if the card's mid, or if it's a trash position, or if it's like something that nobody wants, like, yeah, like it just depends on how the market impacts with it. But like, that also has to be, that's also on EA too, right? Like, EA also has to understand like what's coming on here and how you're going to adjust the odds according to whatever's coming out. Because like, some shit should have value. I'm sorry, it should. Like, nobody should have all the top shit just because they have 1 million, 2, 3, 4 million coins. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I do know what you mean. You're
have
saying
value.
there should be like an actual want to grab. There should be an actual need to, like, you know,
right.
have a,
and that
have
should
a
be
goal.
part of the grind. Make those coins, right? Make those coins, and then when I make it, like, you know, I have, for example, there was a Giants LTD a couple weeks ago, and I was like, shit, I gotta hit. I was at 500,000 coins. I was like, I gotta get 8, 9, 1 million coins. You know what I mean? And try to get something here. So that way I can buy this on the second day or whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? So like, there has to be something worth value. So like, you can grind either on the auction house, or you can grind solos, or you can grind comp, you know? So there's different grinds to have.
There is nothing wrong with having LTDs be 1 million coins plus. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, when we get into what we had a while back, what was that, Fox? Was it 19 when we had GTs? And you had to pretty much stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass cheeks to make the odds better. Now
What
that's
the fuck did
where we
you
have
say?
a problem. Stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass cheeks.
You know, I'm not going to ask you to repeat that again.
the golden tickets. Remember when they're
Yeah, they're like
6 million
8
coins?
to 10 million. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I do have a problem with. Like, we need to have better odds, but there's nothing wrong with having an LTD being 1 million or 2 million as long as the odds in the packs are good. So like when Mike Haynes is 2.5, just because people aren't able to pull them, Yes, that's
Right,
the
that's
issue.
on EA. That's on EA. That part is on EA. It's not on like us as the community or anything. I mean, like we should give them a hard time for it, but like that's on EA not recognizing their market and recognizing the impact of this good card with good abilities coming out is going to be demand, and that's just like they have to like recognize that and play the damn game.
Yeah. So, Camera, I haven't heard from you yet. You on the mic?
Yeah, you got me.
Okay, yeah, I got you. So, what's your opinion? So, basically, what we're seeing from Fredzilla and Roboto is the fact that like limiteds from like 1 to 2 million are okay, but above that's maybe a little bit too much. Do you agree or disagree with that take, or do you think like limits should be like more ideally around 400 to 700K, which is what they are when the TVP's out?
I mean, I don't really have a problem with them being cheap because that means I get to play with them, and if they suck, just sell them. But nothing's really going to change about this game. We're going to be complaining about it day in and day out.
That's not the question I asked. That's not the question I asked.
I know. I stepped away to pee, so I kind of lost what we were talking about.
God damn it! Are you smoking with Dollar? What the fuck?
Nah, I'll go on mute. You guys keep talking. I'll talk later.
Okay, all right, Wrinkled Toast, our resident casual. What's your opinion on LTDs being 1 to 2 mil versus like lower for when they're in the TVP and much more achievable and much more common? Because like there is that thing like we do get angry with everybody was like it was 16 with Amari Cooper. Everybody remembers Amari Cooper. He was so good for so long because he was like the journey reward. But everybody had the card, so everybody was kind of pissed about it. The same thing we look back at fondly on these super common cards that are everywhere. Zadarius Smith on everybody's D line. At the time, we're like this shit sucks. Everybody's got the same teams, and so like that's an actual legitimate complaint that people have when everybody's had the same cards. And then like Bottle's saying it's kind of neat that there's like expensive flex cards or like good cards in the game that are like something you got to work for. What's your opinion as a resident casual on this balance?
I actually agree with Roboto. I agree. I agree that the LTD should be expensive. Even if it is over 1 million coins. But if it should be hard to pull, but it should be like that sweet rewards. Like, man, I just pulled this card and he's really good and he has really good rewards and good stats for a really good position, like a strong safety, cornerback, quarterback, halfback. But yeah, I agree with Roboto on that some LTDs should be over 1 million. And you really do get a good feeling when you do pull the really good card.
And EA can change those odds live. Like we've seen them do it. We've seen them literally have a pack with 6% odds and then they switch it to 10% odds for something else. You know what I mean? With that, I forget what promo it was, Fox, but like they changed it right in front of our fucking face. Like they can do that all the time. Yeah. So that's the part of it of like
Campus Heroes.
If they see how the market dynamics are going, like they can easily go in. Like, does anybody in chat or anybody in here know what the percentage is of this new LTD that came out today? Anybody? None of us know. None of us have a fucking clue. That's my point. Is like EA should be paying attention to this shit and saying, damn, that's a 2 million, 2.5, 3 million card. Maybe we should bump it up a little bit, right? Like that's the difference here where like EA can 100% do that anytime and they can fuck odds anytime we want. So like none of us know, but that's the point here is that EA knows and they're doing some fuck shit here where they understand what's going on and they're not responding in an according manner to how they should with the game that they're playing. Like just look at COD right now with their fucking Trello boards. Like they're updating like gun skins like every 2 minutes. Like what is this? What are they doing? What is EA doing? Like what are they doing?
Yeah, so like there's a lot packed in there. Like the Trello boards, I know like EA had thought about doing that in the past, making it public, but it seems like they've gotten to be such a secretive company as of late. And you say, because you work with EA, kind of like, well, quote unquote work, like you give them feedback and stuff on like is it a Discord or a Slack or whatever you guys are on together. And like, you say they don't listen. So like, if they had the Trello board public, like Call of Duty, like how much does the Call of Duty devs listen to us? Oh, by the way, I'm about to quick sell a whole bunch of things. So I'm starting at 8.295 million. Let's see how much 5 million training I can get with coins of the TVP. But like, how much do you think like EA like even listens to us, and how much does that even matter?
So I will say like when there's shit going down, like we need fixed, we'll send it in and they'll be pretty quick to that. But there's other times when I'm sitting here, for an example, and I'm like looking at all these fucking featured offers and there's one coin offer And I'm just sitting here like, what is this bullshit? Like, not everybody should be forced to spend money to buy packs, and I get crickets. You know what I mean? Until next week, and they're like, oh, here's a new pack for twice the cost and less cards. Like, it's just like they have selective hearing to what they want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, they somehow were able to, you know, get all these glitches and everything quick. So they're looking, something's going on where they're looking and they're seeing what the fuck's happening, but they're not acting in a way that benefits the players. And, you know, obviously we shouldn't get like 10 million coins just for logging into the game, but like, you know, at some point, like, we should have money, we should have coin packs. We shouldn't have B&D rewards at the end of a damn fucking field pass that has 30 levels that takes people weeks to do, that's available for 40 days. Like, there's some shit that they're just not listening to us on. And like LTD odds, we thought they listened to us and then they didn't. And then like, unless they, you know, blow our backs out with something going on with the TVP, why are they taking the shit back out? What's the reason? What is the reason? Like, what's the, like, I don't know. Something has to be coming, or if not, and they're just going to, you know, do this and bring it in every 5 days. Like, what's going on? Like, that's just a bigger question, is like, nobody has no clue of how they're going to actually perform and do these different things. And then, you know, the biggest thing for me was like them changing odds right in front of us. Like, that was just like, all right, so you guys know what's going on here. You guys literally know like how we're getting, you know, different items in the game and how we're getting different packs, and people are making coins, and they just change odds right in front of our face. Like, they're picking different shit to be important, and I have no clue why.
How do you think that information's getting to them if not through you? Do you think they actually got spies in chats or social? Or
yeah, I've pointed them out to you before. They're here. Their people are always here. When a promo launches, I can 100% guarantee that it's one of two things. It's one, they just hired a new community person. I won't reveal their name, but there's a new community person in EA that's working with us doing stuff besides the person you know about. Well, yeah,
Reveal
no, I won't. But I'm just saying, like, they have people that are coming through, and they're just watching shit. You know what I mean? And they're noticing what's going on. And not for nothing, I mean, it's not your fault, but like, when you guys put out videos, you know, whether it's you or even like people who work for EA, we talk about those things. They're gonna naturally look that shit up. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna naturally see what's going on and be like, all right, this is what's happening. And it just really depends on what's going on. Like, if the right community person or representative from EA is watching it, awesome. They won't say anything. But there's some people at EA that just don't give a fuck about us and just want to hit the bottom line. Honestly, they don't care. They just have a bottom line to reach and a job to maintain. And they don't give a fuck how many coins we are or aren't making. They got a job to do. You know what I mean? And that's it's disgusting, honestly, because like, you see all these games that are successful with their communities and everybody that's coming through, and like, you know, how effective a lot of their tournaments are. And like, we're just here, like, take these packs away from the fucking MCS and see how many people watch that shit, you know?
Nobody.
Well, that was a bit of a long one. What? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'll shut up now.
No, I know what you're saying. Is there any way on Twitch to run somebody so I can like charge EA like multiple times when they're trying to snake my shit? They run just ads on them specifically over and over, so they never actually enter.
Right. I mean, I've sent it to you. You know, I've sent it to you, Fox. I've literally said, "Hey, this person is literally in chat right now, watching you do this."
No,
you know what I mean?
And no, you got me confused with somebody else. You'd have to point that out to me. I don't remember ever seeing that.
I was. It's in the whispers, I think, but I mean, there's people who have been in chat and they're like, "Oh, hey, look who it is! It's somebody from EA." So like,
that's crazy.
I love Fox's 1 a.m. do this now videos, and it's patched at 7 a.m. Yeah, I specifically released some late night shenanigans so that way we got time to do it. Because if I release it during the day, it's patched in like 15 minutes sometimes. Or if we do it on stream, it's crazy. It's like 15 minutes are gone. I do agree. Like, I don't know. So how do we fix that? Does anybody got any, like, I don't know. Let me hear from somebody else. Mamba? Like,
the problem is we can't.
Oh, Dawn. Go ahead, Dawn.
It's there. We can't possibly fix a multi-billion-dollar company. As as us, we're a small. Like the people watching Gunfights, the people that watch.
I think your mic's going out. It's very hard to hear you. Is there like, is it are you broadcasting the right mic? Sorry, I can't really hear much of what you're saying.
You hear me well now?
I can't. No, I can't. What about Gary? I haven't heard from Gary yet. Gary?
What's the question here? I'm kind of scared because I'm following up these powerhouses in Roboto. I don't think I can match them.
No, I'm good. It's lettuce hour, so do you think?
Robato's just high here, spouting all these conspiracy theories about EA watching us. They've seen you in your underwear, Fox. They know. Oh, the devil's lettuce. But anyway, the question is like, how do we make changes to like make EA care about the things we care about?
I don't really think there is because I hear people like, I mean, I don't know a specific way because I hear people talk about Call of Duty and well, Call of Duty's doing this. Well, I'm also pretty involved in the Call of Duty like community and it's the same exact thing over there. Everyone's like, well, for those of you that play Call of Duty, they had a gulag with one person and that was everyone's like favorite thing in there. And then they end up going to 2 people in the gulag and everyone hated it. So it's like it's the same thing for every game. The developers don't listen.
It seems like they listen on some things though, right? Like it's so weird, this selective hearing almost, like Bato says. There's nothing we can say like, oh hey, this loophole around loot blitzes make me, millions of coins. Kind of is, but we get people out of the game. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's an unsolvable problem. Same thing with 2K. Is gaming just like more complicated than ever? It feels like some people think it's worse than ever. But somebody earlier in the podcast said gaming's never been better. But it just we're just older and have we just seen too much? Are we just internet circle jerkers now?
I mean, I kind of think that's what it is because I think it's that excitement of being like, whenever I was young, I'd pull like a high overall card, go like run laps around my room, and then come back and like sell it on the auction block just so I can get my like 91 overall team. And now it's like, I pulled 4 limiteds today and I like barely reacted. So I don't know if that's like me getting older or something's wrong in the game right now.
Well, it's like, okay, so for example, it's a good point. Team of the year in FIFA. The cards are like expensively unobtainable for a lot of people, but pulling one is super cool. So it's back to what Roboto says about, maybe the TVP has numbed us to the exciting pulls because they're no longer worth anything. But like, if you want to use all the content, you want to use it cheaply, we can't have those exciting, crazy pulls anymore that make you run around your house for like a 2 million coins. So like, what is in like, there is no universal good versus bad in this opinion. But like, what is overall better for the game? Because that is an absolute downside versus the upside of having obtainable cards.
The TVP was a community thing, right?
Hang on. Who is not Roboto? Who else?
I just said I think games need more competition. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just the limited prices themselves. Sorry, Polo. Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, I just think, if we really want games to be better, like the games are in a great state right now compared to where they were like years and years ago, where it was fucking 5 pixels for a quarter of your screen. But I just think we need more competition to really make these games developers like really put in the work and really listen to us. Because if there was like, I know game day, like the last like different. Oh, it's not Madden, but like the last different football game that I actually played was Game Day. It was a long ass time ago. If they continued their series and was like, yeah, we're just really into what the people want to play, or like Blitz. Like if Blitz put out a game, NFL Blitz Street, like we would really mess up Madden because I know a lot of people miss that game. That game was great. That game was so much fun, but there's nothing like that now. The only real good football game to play is Madden. So it's like, Madden's like, we'll listen to y'all, but no matter what y'all say, we're going to do what we feel is best for our company. And hell, y'all are going to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I competition is what this entire country is built upon. Big Draco, you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just kind of agreeing on what he was, because like, oh, you guys have all these problems with Madden, but what else are you gonna do? If you're gonna play a football game, you have no other option but right here. It's very true in that sense. Unless there's somewhere else to go or something else to worry about, you can just continue to do what you want to do because what else are you gonna do about it? Like what else?
Yeah, I'm not downloading no Arena Football 2023. I want Madden.
CFL's got a hot game. All right, Bato. I'm back to you. So, about that question, and I know where you fall on this side of it. The community, whenever we see, like, remember when Mario Williams was like 2 million coins? Remember we got the Bruce Matthews just like a week and a half ago. That was almost 2 million coins for a fucking guard. Almost the entire community freaked out and said how goddamn awful this stuff sucks and it's terrible. And
everybody wants to run the same.
Yeah, and so you're saying that limiteds to that price are okay, and like Gary said, it's very exciting to pull it. But like the very few people that get that excitement, is that worth it for the amount of people that can't play with that card? Like me, I got 30 million coins now. Okay, after that, I started 18. I'm still it's quick selling stuff. I'm still doing strat item stuff to get more coins. Like how? Like I didn't even buy it because it was too expensive for a fucking guard. Like is that in a net good that people are excited about pulling this one card, or is it okay that Gary's like phased out of the excitement of it because they're so cheap?
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what EA can do about it, right? Like I think there's still a balance of where we can go ahead and do something where we open packs and we go ahead and open those packs and the pack comes out and there's an LTD and it's crazy, right? But then they put in the PvP because if I remember right, it was a kind of a community thing and they were trying to come like make right something for us or like try to give us better odds on random shit. So like it's always going to be a balance though, because for me saying I want something to be valuable, and I'm not saying expensive, right? I don't want this shit to be 3, 4, 5 million, but like there has to be a way that EA can come in and see that, right? And see that this guard is not either being pulled as much or not even being purchased for whatever reason, and then adjust accordingly to that and then dictate how that card's going to be able to be distributed, right? Because the only ways that we're going to get an LTD is LTD times or when Redux is out or through the auction house later on. But then naturally those prices are going to go up. And that's the other thing too, right? Everybody wants to be an investor. And then when we have too many LTDs and they're all 400K, we're going to go ahead and sell them back on the auction house and they're still going to be 450K. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like so, where's the line? At some point it has to be a balance.
The only thing I say about that is make rights. So say the day starts off with low overall chance of pulling limited and EA adjusted later. Are they going to give make rights to the people that pulled these shit fucking packs with bad odds?
No.
So you're just screwed if you open too early.
No.
That's a good
one. I mean, that's another thing, right? Like everybody now it's expecting make rights for anything, anytime EA takes a shit in the toilet. You know what I mean?
What's
like,
wrong with that, dude? I don't want to get
I'm not saying
done.
it's wrong.
I'm not Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't think it's wrong, but I'm just saying that EA sets these precedents, right? To where they're going to go ahead and say, hey, this is what you're going to come to expect with LTDs. This is what you're going to come to expect with getting make rights, anytime you log into the game. Like, it's their fault. At the end of the day, it's their fault.
You make a good point with that, because anytime they fuck up and we call their ass out on it, everybody is like, oh yeah, we already know. If you were there when they fucked up, we know we're getting something good out of it.
Right, 100%. People broke pack strike. I'm not calling any of you foxes out or anything, because a pack was mislabeled and we knew we were going to get make rights. Like people literally broke the pack strike, spent money and bought the pack that was mislabeled because we knew we were going to get make rights. And you know what? Not for nothing, my tinfoil hat's on. I think EA did that shit on purpose. I think EA 1000% did that shit on purpose because everybody was holding strong. We were a couple weeks in. And they mislabeled a pack, and EA, and it was like a $5 pack. It wasn't a crazy expensive pack, if I remember right. Like it was like $5. Like EA did that shit on purpose because people are going to buy the pack and get the make rights. And that make right for whatever it was, I think it was like a 93. These make rights don't mean anything to EA. It means nothing. They're great shit all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them.
That shit was nice because I definitely was at work watching Fox when he pointed that out, and I told my boss, "Hey, I'll be back." I came home, bought that pack, and went right back to work. When I came back off work, I had to make right. I was like, "Yes."
But isn't that okay? So from EA's sense, if it means nothing to them and it means everything in the community, why don't they do that more often then? Like why
I agree. Why don't they do that shit more often? What were the community the thank you community, what the fuck are those things called? The community packs that we get at the end of the year? The fat packs, fan appreciation packs. Why were they so trash last year?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's actually.
Why did they appreciate this with trash? Like them packs were garbage. That's fan appreciation.
That's what they think of us.
I mean, hey,
that was bad.
Yeah.
They just don't appreciate us enough as players. And I also think on the flip side, we fight so much with each other that EA is just not going to put up. They just don't want to listen to us. You know what I mean? Because we're all just fighting between each other always, whether it's franchise guys thinking that like, you know, MUT guys ruin the game. MUT guys don't care about franchise, whatever the case may be. Like we just all infight with each other and EA is just going to do whatever the fuck they want because at the end of the day, whatever hits their bottom lines for the different game modes and different games, that's just what they're going to always do.
Any responses, Fred?
No, I pretty much just agree with Roboto with pretty much on everything that he said. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I guess we can kind of get mad at, but there's a lot of infighting and a lot of like bickering over stuff that doesn't need to be even thought about. I always will agree with you when you say we have to pick and choose our battles, and like people will sit there and say like and argue over we need more free cards or we need less LTDs.
Right, or arguing
more
about
LTDs.
fucking theme team. About all this dumb shit. Like at the end of the day,
the theme teams need to be addressed though. They're terrible.
Hang on, let Don go. Let Don go. What's up, Don?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but theme teams need to be addressed. I mean, it's a NFL game, and the Legends theme teams. I just can't. This week when the market rolls up, I decided to switch from my Legends theme team to a Falcons theme team because that's my favorite team. I want to say around 50 games with this Falcons theme team during the week. Probably won maybe 60% of my games. The gap between a theme team and a Legends theme team, but we already talked about this during the year, is extreme. I mean, if your team doesn't get a card, which most teams don't get a card for maybe a month, like the Falcons, the reason they just got Drake London and who else did they just get? They just got Matty Ice. The only reason they got those cards because that theme team was outdated by like 2 months. No kidding. Like it's honestly ridiculous the fact that theme teams were this garbage this year. Like the Legends theme team completely trashed every single theme team.
And it's
every single one.
And Legends theme team has been like that since October. Yeah.
It's always been like that.
But I remember I was in Gut Fox's stream and people was like, why won't we just make the comp pass people like every theme team? They won't even do that. But you know why the Legends team they decided? Because that's where the money is. If a person's new and they see, oh my God, this guy has a Legends team, they're gonna try their best to make that theme team. If you don't know nothing about the game, you'll spend around $300, $400 just trying to catch up to that team. So I just think that's one thing they have to make sure they address next year.
And they can do it.
Teams,
they can do
it. That's where I disagree.
Hang on, you're talking over each other. Go, Roboto.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, I was just saying all they have to do is turn it off. They've turned off chemistries before. Like they've known about the Legends theme team since September. Like let's be real. Like Legends theme team has been cracking since like the start of the year. So like they've known about it. All they literally have to do is just turn it off. Turn off the Legends chem and then turn it back on after the Super Bowl or when Ultimate Legends comes out, turn it on. You know what I mean? Like they could easily do it to where the relevant teams that are actually playing in the fucking NFL during the season are relevant.
Yeah, Roboto, but I feel like that, but the reason this year they could not do that at all, because they predicated their game off a Legends theme team.
Oh,
The commercial was Brett Favre.
And the Madden.
Deion Sanders. It was just stuff like that. Even though we didn't get Brett Favre, even though that wasn't a part of Ultimate Team, but most people that knew Ultimate Team was like, oh, Brett Favre, Deion Sanders, all these Legends players. And once they seen the Legends theme team, they're like, oh yeah, I'm a Legends theme team. Like,
yeah,
you know, we're lucky that the Legends theme team didn't get 50 out of 50. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
If Legends theme team got 50 out of 50, everybody would have the team. The only real reason to go to every team maybe for when you can get like +2 speeds and your team's like maybe better overall, so you can maybe try to compete with them. But if they had +2 speed, the Legends team would just be prevalent everywhere.
I got a question. So, okay, Legends theme team and everything along with it. if they went up to like say 55 out of 55 and they gave you +3 speed for that, would it even be worth it? Because the Legends theme team, and the reason why it's so powerful is not, just because it's Legends, because it's the ability discounts. Is there any sort of attribute they could give to current teams right now to make them any better than the Legends theme team as it currently is?
No.
No, that's how powerful the Legends theme team is right now. They would have to make, I would probably say, literally 5 or 6 more promos just dedicated to increasing theme teams, ability discounts, overalls, and positions that you may not think you need, but you need. Like backups, like in backups for the Legends theme teams, they're like 92s. They have 90 speed on kickoff. If you go for a Legends, mostly any theme team other than Legends, your backups, which you don't think you need, but you need for your kickoffs, they'll get burnt because you're still using 75 overalls in your backups. You don't think you need them, but that at the end of the day, all that matters in this game. It just does, especially when you're coming against competition where everybody's meta this, meta that. And we were just talking about LTDs, them being at such a high price. I think they should be that price because everybody right now runs the same dealio. 6'5" Calvin Johnson deep in the back with Jabril Peppers. I got to make sure I have them. Everybody's running the same thing. Nobody has any type of mind of their own. And honestly, the problem with that is, content creators and stuff like that, which I don't have a problem with, but people are going to see what makes them win, which there's not a problem with that. But, people just don't have a mind for it all. They don't want to create their own teams. We're just in a bad place as a community as well. It's not just EA, it's the community too. So we gotta figure it out. We got to.
Yeah, I don't agree with that take on theme teams at all. At all. Like, if you don't know how to construct a theme team to not have goals as your backups, then that's a user issue. That's a skill issue. Like I said, I will say this all the time. I'm not a very good Madden player, but I know how to make my theme team, and I do not have goals as my backup or anything like that. Like, I know how to at least construct a team and stuff like that. And like the thing with the Legends theme team, people, I don't know what happened, but people just must have forgot that before the Legends theme team, it was just a Raiders saturation over and over. We didn't have Legends theme teams, but we had Raiders theme teams, and everybody was running the Raiders theme teams. And that's it, because every release, there was a Raiders legend, and that's what people were focusing on. So there's always going to be theme teams, and there's always going to be a saturation. And the Legends theme team, yeah, okay, they may have a good amount of players and stuff like that, but it's not unstoppable. Just because you have a Legends theme team doesn't mean that you're going to just roll into a game and just automatically win. You still have to be able to play the damn game. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I do understand like people have like this disdain for the Legends theme team. They hate it. But I used to hate booting up into a game and seeing the Raiders jerseys, because I knew that it was just gonna be a hell of a game. So I know what it is. It's the same thing, whether there's Legends, Raiders. What I do agree with is that there does need to be some kind of a balance between other teams and everybody else. That I do agree with.
I don't agree with the idea of just theme teams in general. Like, I mean, I'm using one right now, but that's just me. But I just don't like the idea of them. Yeah, I know. I was telling that myself in the head. I was like, I'm a hypocrite. But I honestly don't like the idea of the theme teams. But I really do, like, everyone's going to talk about, like, mismatch and whatever. But I like the idea from last year of, like, Sprinter, because you do get positive stats on people, but you also get negative effects on people. So it's not just just positive stats on everybody.
Why don't you like theme teams?
Because they just... Legends teams super overpowered, and they always have the most speed and the best sort of coverages and certain stats versus other.
Just the Legends theme team you don't disagree with?
No, I'm saying I disagree with all the theme teams.
Why? Because you don't like the bonuses?
No, I do like the bonuses, but at some point it's just too overpowered. But like I agree with certain boost, but I think that there should be negative boost at the same time. So like last year you had Sprinter, it would give you more speed, but it would decrease your change of direction.
Yeah, no, I think Sprinter was trash because it was just like it ended the game so soon. As speed is the most important thing, and I get what you're saying about positive and negatives. The thing about theme teams and why they're so good is they add an element to the game as far as roster construction that we would otherwise lack. Now, you could get rid of theme teams themselves and go back to the Madden 17 chemistry style, and before 16, if you guys call, we'd have 3-4, we'd have run stuffer, and so you'd have to get guys with certain chemistries. But I actually don't mind, getting guys together that played on the same squad, giving them bonuses for because it's something the community already did, which is use only Dolphins, only Steelers, etc. And then give them bonuses for constructing that. Now, the bonuses, you say overpowered. The downside was supposed to be the gold backups, for you'd have holes somewhere. Back when they first did this stuff, you'd have a left guard that was a 68 overall or something, but you'd have the fastest card in the game by far. So that was supposed to balance out the overpoweredness. Now, that's kind of gone away because nobody wants to have those low guards anymore. So that aspect of the negative portion of theme teams, it's no longer there. It's no longer a part of the game because, you got players that could get every single theme team in the game, cards that can get all AFC, all NFC, etc. So you don't really run theme teams with the holes the initial design or that we used to have to get our wide receivers so much faster than everybody else, to use that this power level kind of because it made matchup differences. It made things harder to go against. And I see people in chat, someone said theme teams, you want theme teams, just run regs, but regs is stupid. Regs is you just run the same teams like Green Bay versus, I don't know, what is it, Tampa. I don't know what the meta is, regs like this, but it's the same things over and over. Whereas theme teams, you can use legends. You can't use legends. So in regs, maybe my Steelers are ass. But if in MUT, the Steelers have good legends, as the most successful franchise of all time, they should. And then I can have a competitive Steelers team, which is something that, a lot of people are seeing and saying, please balance out the theme teams. Don't make one stupidly overpowered. So that way I can run my favorite team out there, my jerseys, and compete against other people to add that kind of depth. Now, they could add more depth to team building through other sort of a strategy or other sort of chemistries. We've brainstormed all over college chems, states-born chems. There's so many different things as far as what they can do as far as making this game more depth. But that's the kind of depth that we want MUT. That's the thing about Ultimate Team, is building different sorts of ultimate teams to figure out which one you like best, which one you jive with, who plays well for you, under which setup or which chemistry. So that's the reason why theme teams are so awesome, why so many people want to use them. And EA has completely failed up until this point at providing that sort of balance for the user base to use different theme teams.
But you were talking about just getting more players and be able to use them and jive with them. Wouldn't it just make more sense, since you already know what's for strat cards or Sprinter 2 or whatever that you could put on players? Wouldn't it just make more sense? If you didn't have theme teams, you still get the speed boost, but you could just put whatever players you want in there and not having to worry about, is in the AFC, NFC, or this certain team. You know what I'm talking about?
But then it's you just get the best cards and cook. There's no team building strategy towards it, right? Talk about the 93 overalls that were trash. With a theme team, Quez Watkins is great. On a regular thing, it's trash, and everybody had the same bonuses, so there's no reason to use. Even though they drop new cards, they're trash, right? So that's the point of theme teams, is to bring up content that on a generic team, it wouldn't be it. But on a theme team, this card can compete with the best of them.
I mean, they can still compete because they still get the boost.
No, but everybody else gets the boost, so there's no difference in them. You're literally just giving everything the same thing.
It all comes back to balance, literally. Everything, if you look at the theme team list right now and look at the different teams, not for nothing, but the Lions had one hell of an end to their season, and their theme team's kind of trash. You know what I mean? There should be a way that you could have a competitive team throughout. And I don't know what it is at EA. I don't know if it's multiple people working on content and player picking or whatever, but there's many times. How many times have running backs come out and literally shit on the next running back, or the day when they put out JPP and the comp pass reward are the same exact position? It's you guys could have thought about this a smidge better, you know what I mean? And try to, plan this out just a little better. I know they're restricted by some stuff, whether it's team of the week or playoff promo, and like they have to give those out for those teams. But like there's a flip side to it where they could find a way to balance it still through Legends promos or through the weekly other wild cards or whatever. Like there's ways they can do it. It's just like, again, EA's disconnected in some way, whether it's internal or like not paying attention to the damn game, and they're just putting shit out based on like, oh, we have to do Gronk this week. This is what we're gonna do, you know? So it's balance. It's on them.
Yeah, I gotta wrap the podcast. It's coming to an end. It was fun. I'm gonna go through the list one more time. Give everybody one final word on a Madden, MUT, whatever you want to say. We'll go down from top to bottom. So we're gonna start at Big Draco. Any final word for the pod today?
Nice to be out here. You know, really enjoyed everybody's takes and everything. Nice to see that Madden's kind of looking at a progressive as far as the community goes. I had a good time out here.
Hell yeah.
That's all.
Appreciate you, Draco. Take it easy, man. All right. Dawn, final take on Madden and MUT for the pod.
Final take. We need to make sure we press EA to drop content for theme teams, right? AJ Terrell, I'm a Falcons fan. He's our top premier corner. He has a 85 overall. So we just need to make sure we just press them, not even just for this year, next year, that the game is just more balanced. We just need to pray for balance at the beginning of the year. Because at the beginning of the year, I already knew how the game was going to go because we had, guess what? Parham. We knew the game was going to be Ag City for the rest of the year. I was like, he's for sure getting the golden ticket. Jump balls are definitely the meta, and it hasn't changed yet. So next year, we just need to make sure we pray for balance. That's the only thing we need out of EA to start off with. The packs, the percentage of packs, we can worry about that. But gameplay and balance is the biggest thing, and those things will come like really follow. If the game is good and the balance is good, it's going to be a great game. We just need to press them as a community. And that's my final word.
Definitely. Agree with that. Yeah. Balance. Perfect. All right. Take it easy, Don. Fred, what's going on, bud? Any last words?
All right. Last words for Madden.
Or MUT, whatever you want to say.
Oh, for MUT, really?
Anything.
So far, I still really do think that they're doing a good job with the amount of content that we get. I still think that they are shitty with the implementation of it. And we still need, like, as far as like pack odds and stuff like that, like I think that's the shitty part. As far as like them putting out content, they're still doing a good job with that. It's just, you know, the implementation that still sucks. And that's pretty much about it. I want to tell everybody to subscribe to Gut Fox on YouTube, and he does have a YouTube. And you try to leave the den, I'll come looking for you.
I figured after other self promos and this stream that it'd be another one. Fredzilla, everybody check out Fredzilla. He streams now, new streamer. Love him. He gets so angry at the game. It's fucking hilarious. I'm one of his first 10 subs. Take it easy, Fred. I guess he's not going to say goodbye. Gary.
Yeah.
Final words for the pod. MUT, Madden related. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, first I wanted to say thank you for having me on. And then my final words, I haven't played Madden since Madden 20. I just got it back into this one a month ago. And I think the biggest problems are like the rewards. I've played through all the Legends solos and I've played through all the Team of the Week solos. Other than that, I have no motivation to play through solos. My team's a 97 overall right now, and if the solos didn't have like a reward for cards, I feel like I'd rather, like, when they had the Team of the Week pack, everyone ate that up. They were like doing I think even you did it. You had people come on and open their packs and everyone was reacting to it. I think that was like
awesome.
Such a big thing.
I absolutely agree. I love those. I love those ones. Yeah, everybody's questioning 90. Chat is like lit up right now. It was like, what the fuck, a 97? Yeah, you got a high end team, but like, no, I agree. That'd be kind of neat. That'd be kind of neat to get more packs like that.
I think the same thing with the field pass, because like I have no motivation to level up in the field pass besides to say like I'm higher than other people. I think I meant to say 96 anyways. But I have no motivation to level up besides saying like I'm higher than other people because I'm a Packers fan and there's not much like for the Packers team. It's like the Steelers. We get disrespected because we're like the average team in the NFL and we have been for a little bit because the Packers just make it to the playoffs and lose. And I'd rather, instead of getting like the Fred every time or like I think in years past it's always been like Paul Krause or something, instead of getting the same card, I'd rather get just like a pack where like the team of the week pack, or like I think they used to have the gold theme team packs, and I thought stuff like that was cool.
I get you. More packs around theme teams. Everybody in chat is also roasting on how good the Packers theme team is this year. So, Gary,
Yeah,
Gary
I saw him lighting me up.
destroyed. But yeah, I appreciate it, Gary. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, take it easy, dude. Have a good night.
You too.
Polo, final words on Madden or MUT for the podcast?
Final words. I'm gonna make it real quick. I want more content, and when I say content, I mean players, so that way people stop complaining so much about theme teams. Just need, the players that don't get the upgrades to get their upgrades. Second, a separate comp pass, and when I say a separate comp pass, I mean like one for online and then one for like single player. Like how they have, and my friend told me about this. He suggested this, so I asked him to be in here, but he said no. He said like how MLB has the conquest mode, and you can play like the 3-inning games, and you get rewards from that. If they had something like that in Madden, where it was like a quarter game, and you pick what teams to play, and you finish that, and then you get a little reward from it, that'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
And then third thing, not Madden related, but football related. Tom retiring, last game against Dak, losing to him. I understand why he retired, because losing to Dak is embarrassing. Cowboys suck. I'm from Dallas. Cowboys suck.
It wouldn't be a stream without Cowboys hate. I love you.
Wouldn't be.
Take it easy, Polo.
You too, man.
Yeah. Mamba. Any final words on MUT or Madden? I think, is this the second time or third time we've gone to Mamba? He just hasn't responded. Mamba? Mamba's just been here chilling the whole time. All right, see you, Mamba. Bado! Final thoughts. As the inside guy, the connection we have to EA, what are your thoughts from that side of the bracket as far as MUT?
I'll keep it short and sweet just because I've said enough. But number one, thank you for having all of us on. And number two, love the den, but I just want to make sure everybody in the den appreciates the fuck out of Gut Fox here. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys appreciate your content creator. Okay,
not gonna get real. Not gonna get real. See you later, Bado.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Wrinkled Toast. Thoughts on thoughts on Madden or MUT?
I enjoy the various amount of cards and different card types they have. It's way better than MLB, just the amount of cards they put in it. Even though the gameplay is not the best, I do enjoy the amount of cards that they do put in the game. There's more legends in the game than MLB, and just more variety in the present day players that they put out. But the gameplay can always be better. Hope for next year. And before I go, I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith.
And there's a deep drive by Castellanos. We're not gonna let him finish it. No MLB means.
Dick move there.
This is MUT.
Dick move.
All right, KKL. I guess you're the last one of the pod. What do you got?
Why do you give me the last word?
You were the last on the list.
Here, so
what?
I can't even say thank you for letting me on here because I just come in here myself because I can. Mod power, mod abuse. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for giving their thoughts on Madden. I didn't listen to any of it because it's MLB season, maybe in like 2 months.
Dude, that's like
let me play MLB.
A sixth of the year away. What the fuck?
Honestly, I mean, we got a Super Bowl in like a week.
Yeah, that's true. It is football season, baby. It is totally.
Yeah, mods. MO Megal LDS. There you go.
Yeah, totally. All right, KKL. Take it easy, dude. I'll
I'm
talk
out,
to you soon.
though. Peace.
Peace. All right, well, that is it for the pod, a community pod. How long did they go for? 3 hours? Dude, is that the longest freaking pod ever? Thought this was a Christian street. Yeah. All right. Anyways, take it easy. Apple, Spotify, please give us the highest stars, or else Bottle will find you and he'll report you to EA for something, some shenanigans, and then I'll have to. I'm just gonna end it. I got nothing. My brain's fried. Peace.